The New England Patriots take on the Oakland Raiders. With our broadcast today brought to you on CBS in high definition. The congested AFC East, the Jets with a fumble recovery late and a touchdown to beat Buffalo. Miami's Chad Pennington with 2 touchdown passes against the San Francisco 49ers. It is a miserable day. It may say 52, it feels like 40. The Raiders won the flip of the coin. They will receive. So Gostkowski will be kicking off for New England. And deep back will be a guy familiar for you fans back in New England, Justin Miller. And here we go, the Patriots and the Raiders in a steady downfall of rain in Oakland.
Oh, indecision.
Miller will take it out.
Should have left, should have stayed in.
Kelly Washington makes the tackle on special teams with a 12-yard return. All right, now the Oakland offense. Second-year quarterback Jamarcus Russell hurt his right ankle against San Diego 10 days ago. Didn't finish the game. His numbers are amongst the lowest among all starters in the NFL. Left tackle Mario Henderson replaces the ineffective Quinn Harris. Harris had pass protection and penalty issues. Running back Justin Fargas leads the NFL's number 10 running game. From the 7-yard line, it is 1st and 10. Lawton is the fullback, and here comes Fargas, who is brought down by Vrabel. He led him in tackles last week in Seattle. There's no gain. They remain at the 7. Vince Wilfork on that New England defensive line will start after suffering a shoulder injury, and Ty Warren returns after missing 2 straight. Teddy Bruschi out with a left knee injury back in Foxborough. Watching this game, Gary Guyton will move inside. Colvin goes outside, and with James Sanders out with an abdominal injury, Lewis Sanders will start at safety. It's 2nd down and 10. It's Fargas driving across the middle. He's out to the 11-yard line, and he was brought down out there by Vrabel. Also hit on that line by Guyton. It is a gain of 4 and spot him at the 11.
Well, the one thing this New England defense can't allow the Raiders to do, Kevin, is to run the ball with success early. You have to make Jamarcus Russell beat you with his arm. The one thing that the Raiders can do is run the football.
Jarvis Green will now come in on the defensive line for New England. Deltha O'Neal becomes the 5th defensive back. It's 3rd down and 6. Schillens comes in as a receiver. Bush was in the backfield, and Russell throws incomplete. It's a 3 and out. They were going for Curry. Coverage on the play by Wilhite, and 3 and out. It's a horrible beginning of the game team, this offense. Lowest scoring first quarter team, the Raiders. And just 1 game with an opening touchdown in the last 54 games.
And 3rd down has been a problem for this football team, Kevin. Converting just 25% of them, and need to do a better job keeping drives alive and giving themselves some scoring opportunities.
Kondo with the long snap, and one of the best punters in the NFL, Shane Leckler, will kick out of his own end zone to Kevin Falk, who is back at the 46, a hang time of 4 seconds. And here comes Falk, who is hit by the long snapper Kondo. 14-yard return and a 43-yard punt. 4 straight weeks, the Patriot offense has been ranked in the top 10. We begin it with their quarterback, Matt Castle, with an emotional week dealing with the death of his father on Monday. He returned to practice out here in California on Thursday. 3 Pro Bowlers on that offensive line, including the left tackle, Matt Light. Spectacular group of linemen. One of the headlines today, ex-Raider Randy Moss returns to Oakland as a Patriot for the first time since he was traded. 1st and 10 from the 40. They stack the receivers. Gaffney is out there. In the backfield was Morris. Castle dropped by Benjamin Watson. And the coverage on the play by the cornerback Chris Johnson. Now for that Oakland defense. Defensive end Derek Burgess is healthy for a defensive line that is in search of a consistent pass rush. Linebacker Kurt Morrison leads the Raiders and has the 3rd most tackles in the National Football League. And one of the best cover corners in the NFL plays for the Raiders, Asamoah. 2nd down and 10. Watson is in motion. Morris in the backfield for Castle. Sammy Morris. There's a block by Watson. Then he is stacked up and brought down. A host of Raiders coming in on the stop, including Tommy Kelly, for a gain of 4, and we'll spot him at the 36.
Okay, what you're going to see from New England, they really want to spread you out offensively and attack you through the air. And then sprinkle in some runs to keep you honest. And predominantly a one-back offense right now with 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. It'll be interesting to see how the Raiders can match up defensively against all these receivers. Are they going to play man-to-man coverage, or are they going to sprinkle in some zone defense?
Rout becomes the 5th defensive back. Gaffney is in. Falk in the backfield. 3rd down and 6. Good block by Kazir. That is caught by Welker. Hit by Johnson. He's got the 1st down to the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 on 3rd and 6. And they'll move the chains.
And if you're the Raiders, you better have a plan on 3rd down for Wes Welker. He's the guy you have to find, Kevin. He's the guy they move around in the slot, and you have to have an answer for Wes Welker.
Rout remains the nickel. Gaffney is out there. 1st and 10. This is Falk. Open with the block at the center position, and they have the tackle by Kelly along with Gerard Warren. It is a gain of 3 to the 17-yard line.
And you got to mix in some run against this Raider defense. I mean, they're better defending the pass than they are the run right now. The 30th in run defense, giving up almost 160 yards a game on the ground.
2nd down and 7. No changes either way. That one is blocked at the line of scrimmage. Got up in there with some penetration, bringing up 3rd and 7. Castle, when he took the place of Brady, they did not change the volume of this as it was knocked down by Sands on the line. They didn't change the volume of the playbook, did they?
No, they really didn't. You know, we talked with Josh McDaniels last night. Nothing in this system they're afraid to do with him. He's gotten better each and every day. I really think, Kevin, his performance this year, nothing short of extraordinary when you take into consideration the fact he hasn't really played much as a college player or a pro.
Still 5 defensive backs. 3rd down and 7. Falk was in the backfield with Castle. That's caught by Welker. Brought down by Johnson. He's at the 10, close to a 1st down, picks up 7 on the play.
That's the guy right now that has been really the difference maker. The guy that's carrying this offense is Wes Welker, and on 3rd down, I don't understand why you won't even double a guy like Wes Welker. He's their playmaker. He's leading with 96 receptions right now. Not the biggest, strongest, or fastest, Kevin, but probably the toughest.
1st and goal with the no huddle. Here comes Falk. And he's down to about the 8, and then falling on him is Sands on a gain of 2. Does the no huddle surprise you here to start the game for the Patriots?
No, the up tempo. Look at the Raiders can't even make their substitutions right now.
2nd down and goal. A Welker block, a Kazir block, and Gerard Warren makes that stop, and he's down to the 7, and he picks up probably no gain on the play, so it stays right where it is. Yeah, they're trying to take personnel in and out, and having a hard time with the no huddle.
The Raiders historically have struggled with the no huddle in defending it. The other thing, Kevin, shifts, motions, different formations have confused the Raiders defense a number of times this season when you break them down on film.
Well, the challenge flag is out there with Bill Belichick throwing the flag. John Perry, our referee, is a very solid crew here in Oakland today.
New England is challenging the previous play that the defense had 12 men on the field.
Well, we told you about the confusion for the Raiders and trying to get personnel on and off the field. Look at Tom Cable. He is 2-7 as the interim head coach, and he takes the place of Lane Kiffin, fired earlier in the year. Raiders have already had it. 3 and out, punting. And the big play on this drive for the New England Patriots, a 15-yard catch and run by Welker.
Well, if you go back and look, let's count them up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think what they're looking for is whether or not there's an extra player that didn't get off the field yet. You can see him right here at the bottom of the screen.
So they'll take a look at it under the hood. We are in the midst of a downpour here in Oakland. The rain is really falling. And this week in practice, I am assuming the Patriots used a wet football knowing that rain was in the forecast for today.
Well, if you go back 2 weeks, they really struggled at home against Pittsburgh with the weather. And of course, they went up to Seattle last week, Kevin. They played better in those conditions. And when we talked with Coach Belichick last night, he mentioned that they did do the wet ball drill. The wet ball drill is where you get a bucket or you get a water bottle, you're squirting the ball with water down in between. reps, and I think it was important for Matt Castle. It was a point of emphasis to take better care of the football in these type of conditions, and they did that last week.
And you used to do that as a quarterback too when you knew that weather was in the forecast for Sunday.
Absolutely, particularly when you play out here in the Bay Area. The weather can always be an issue this time of the year, and so Matt Castle really struggled a couple weeks ago against Pittsburgh, taking care of the football in the pocket. The ball came out, they had a number of interceptions, 5 turnovers in that game. That's something they wanted to make sure they got straightened out.
And then my last weather
Play. The play stands as called. 11 men on defense and not 12. New England has charged their first team timeout. 3rd down.
A lot of these coaches have guys up in the press box here that are watching the monitor and have the binoculars on the field for just those kind of things to help him in, throwing out a challenge.
I think the Raiders got a break in that situation. I think the player that we're talking about was Tommy Kelly, one of the defensive linemen who was trying to get off the field. I don't know if he actually made it to the sidelines or not.
It is 3rd and goal at the 7. Falk in the backfield. Good block by Coburn. That's caught by Falk. Oh, what a great block by Welker, who knocked out Rout, and that's a touchdown pass of 7 yards on New England's first possession today.
And Kevin, I've always admired Kevin Falk. I mean, as a versatile back, they ask him to do a lot, but the thing we know about him, he's very, very good in the passing game. You'll see here, he comes right out of the backfield. Castle's doing a good job looking downfield. The very last minute, he just kicks it down underneath. And look at that block right there. That sprang Kevin Falk. Working the middle of the field against the Raiders is a good thing. Their better corners on the outside.
So here's Gostkowski, who will try the extra point and swings that one through. Falk with his 2nd touchdown reception of the season, the 12th of his career. And they put him up on their first possession, 7-zip over the Oakland Raiders.
And you see right there, watch that block right there by Wes Welker at the top of your screen. Kevin, these guys, particularly a player like Wes Welker, I just love him. He reminds me a lot of a guy like Hans Ward. He does all the little things it takes to be a great player in this league.
Right now, let's take you to our CBS studios in James Brown. Came down to a last-minute play by Kansas City, but the Chargers prevailed there late. Looks like the Chargers are going to prevail in Kansas City late again.
Yeah, but you know what, Kevin? I still don't think. I think Denver is going to take care of things today. And really disappointing season, regardless of the outcome of that game for San Diego. They have not been a consistent football team all year, and with that personnel, you'd expect better.
Here's another kickoff by the New England Patriots. Gostkowski will let it fly. And Miller will take it at the 7. He was just let go by the Jets earlier this season. We got a block by Akajuba. There goes a flag, and here he comes crossing the 40-yard line, brought down by Slater, the young wide receiver. It's a 35-yard return, and the flag thrown back about the 29-yard line. As you can see it getting picked up right there with 10:15 to play here in the first quarter from Oakland.
During the return, holding. Number 55, return team, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10, Oakland.
That's by John Alston with Super Bowl quarterback Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan here in Oakland. A 7-yard touchdown pass moments ago to Kevin Falk. A lot of penalties against these Raiders.
Well, that 97 penalties this year leads in National Football League, Kevin. And you talk about attention to detail. You talk about the little things that make a difference. It's a reason why they're 3-10 right now.
Defensive line of Warren, Wilfork, and Seymour. 1st and 10. Vargas in the backfield and the call. There's a block by Cornell Green. Tackle made by Brandon Merriweather at the 21-yard line on a pickup of 6 yards on the play. Just finishing up Ty Warren, who is he had missed 3 of 4 with a partially torn groin. Missed the last 2. He told the coaching staff, I can't be in there on passing downs, but I can be there on run downs. And so that's how we're going to see him today. 2nd down and 4. No huddling the Raiders. And all kinds of movements.
Trying to jump that snap count. Richard Seymour, and that's the matchup. You see Richard Seymour right there, Kevin, against that left tackle, Mario
Ball
Henderson.
Start. Number 76 offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And you and I were kidding this week. Richard Seymour and Mike Vrabel are going to be fighting to see who gets the rush from that right side of that line of scrimmage. Quam Harris has been replaced in the lineup by Mario Henderson. You see him right there. That left tackle position has been a problem all season for the Raiders. They have not gotten it done. And one of the reasons you see right there, Zach Miller on the left side to give him an extra body over there to help in protection.
Second down and 9. Nickel secondary. Deltha O'Neal came in for New England. That pass is incomplete. They're looking for the rookie Chaz Schillens, and the coverage on the play by Ellis Hines. It'll be 3rd and 9.
And when I look at right now at Jamarcus Russell and I watch tape, it's clear to me that he does not trust the protection around him. Watch this. It's a very difficult time stepping into his throws, trusting the protection up in those A and B gaps. And Kevin, it hasn't been good all season. You can see it in his footwork. It is affecting him.
Couple tight ends will be in there for the Raiders. On the defensive line, Seymour, Jarvis Green, and Mike Wright at the nose tackle. 3rd down and 9. 5 defensive backs for New England. Vrabel came on one side. On the other side with the fumble on the play was Jarvis Green. New England says they've got it as they clear the bodies. Jake Grove, the center, was knocked down. And the Raiders retain possession. They lose 8. They are back inside their 10. They got a punt.
You see Vrabel right there. He forces Jamarcus Russell up in the pocket, and this is one of the things that he has to do a better job. Young quarterbacks understanding ball security, taking care of the football. You got to step up and have 2 hands on the ball, and you see right there coming around the right side, Jarvis Green finishing him off.
Second 3 and out for the Raiders. Number 2 punter in the National Football League, Shane Leckler, will punt to Falk. High snap from Kondo. Bad punt by Leckler. And out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Of course, New England began on a short field last time. That was a 26-yard punt by Leckler. That's his shortest punt of the year as we take a look at the entire. Welcoming our new audience, here's a 1st and 10. Sammy Morris running up the middle, got a block from Randy Moss and takes it down to the 19-yard line with Johnson along with Jabril Wilson making the stop. A 15-yard run. Patriots on top on an opening drive. 7-yard touchdown pass to Falk. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Morris remains in the backfield. That was a busted play. Here comes Matt Castle. He's being chased by Jabril Wilson and run out of bounds at the 20-yard line, losing a yard. Let's go to CBS Studios and James Brown.
Kevin.
Slim is the word to use. Thank you very much. The Raiders come out and nickel right here. They bring in Stanford route. 2nd down and 11. Falk is in the backfield. Nice move up in the pocket by Castle. That's caught. And it's Moss, and it's a touchdown pass as he burns the defensive back, Rashad Baker, on a 20-yard touchdown pass. The 2nd TD pass thrown today by Matt Castle.
I'll tell you, Kevin, this is a great throw. He steps up in the pocket. Matt Castle, he really threw it in the only position he possibly could. It was pretty good. Watch him step up in here and make a great throw. Look at the coverage. Rashad Baker is right there. He put it in the only place that Randy Moss could make that catch. Using the boundary, bringing him back. Just a great throw by Matt Castle.
Moss, who had 23 touchdown receptions a year ago, has his 9th TD reception right there. Gostowski will put it through for a 14-0 New England lead. They've started in Raider territory twice. 2 Castle touchdown passes and 7:57 to play in the first.
And it appears this negotiation.
Randy Moss collects his 125th touchdown reception of his career. That is 3rd all time. So Castle with 2 possessions, 2 touchdown passes. Rashad Baker, the ex-Buffalo Bill, was burned on a perfectly thrown pass by Castle. Gostowski will kick off once again, and Justin Miller, who had a 92-yard kickoff return against San Diego 10 days ago for the Raiders, retrieves it at the 7-yard line. And he is up to about the 28-yard line on the play. Justin Miller on the kickoff. So another look at Jamarcus Russell on that 22-yard return. We're in the first quarter from Oakland and 7:51 to play.
Is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. Nikon, Check out the ultra-compact and easy-to-use Nikon D60. And by Sprint. Get NFL Mobile Live, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
Raiders have had 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. The fullback, Lawton, is at the bottom of your screen. Fargas in the backfield, and Russell on 1st and 10. Here comes Vrabel. There goes the pass. Incomplete. There's coverage across the way by Lewis Sanders. Here comes some boos now for the first overall pick in the draft last year, Jamarcus Russell out of LSU.
And you look at this right here. This is the key for how you win a football game if you're Oakland right now with the personnel. You look at the wins and losses. When they run the ball, 42 attempts a game for 203 yards, and they're not throwing a lot, that's how they win. Kevin, they're not set up right now in terms of the personnel to beat you through the air. They have a problem with offensive tackle. They don't have the depth at wide receiver. They have to be able to run the football.
2 tight ends on 2nd down and 10 for Russell. Outside the tight end, that's Zach Miller. He was tripped up by Merriweather right around the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play. Zach Miller is a second-year guy, and he is the leading receiver for the Raiders.
And you said, Kevin, he's the leading receiver for the Raiders, coming in with 37 receptions. And their top 3 reception leaders are the tight end and the 2 running backs. And they've really struggled at the wide receiver position in terms of consistency and production. Look, the top 3 wide receivers for the Raiders have combined for just 41 receptions this season.
Green and Wright come in on the defensive line. O'Neal becomes the 5th defensive back. 3rd down and 5. Curry is coming as an extra receiver, and that is incomplete. Looking for Chillins, and they got a punt. That is a 3-and-out, the 3rd consecutive 3-and-out.
And you look at this right here, Kevin. This is my point. The tight end, Zach Miller, with 47 yards a game. But look at the receivers. I mean, they have not had a 100-yard receiving day out of a receiver all year. They don't have the speed there. They don't have the ability to separate, and they're not winning on the outside lanes.
Here's Leckler, number 2, and Gross, number 2, and net. He had a 26-yard punt the last time. Conda with the long snap. Oh, my goodness. He gets off a rocket, driving Falk back to the 5. Hang time 4-3. Hit by Sam Williams, grabbed by HARLAN Eugene at about the 16-yard line. A 62-yard punt. 6:51 in the first. Here comes New England. Rain and wind here in the Bay Area, greeting Matt Castle for the 3rd possession. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes already from the 17, 1st and 10. Morris in the backfield. Sammy Morris, good block by Logan Mankins. And a tackle in the secondary by Jabril Wilson near the 30-yard line. That's a burst of 14. Earlier, Morris had a 15-yard run.
Well, I think it's always imperative when you're on the road to make sure your quarterback gets off to a good start. He's in rhythm, and that's just what Matt Castle has been able to do. Sprinkle the ball around. Kevin, he gets all the receivers involved in the game early. You see right there Randy Moss with the catch. He's got to feel good coming back here to Oakland, scoring early in this game.
Morris in the backfield. 1st down and 10 for Castle. He was hit by Tommy Kelly. He escapes. He's being chased by a couple linebackers. He throws out of bounds. He was belted on the play by Morrison. And on the defensive line, he had Kalimba Edwards right on his tail.
Well, this is good to see if you're the Raiders. They've struggled generating consistent pressure on the quarterback right there. You see Tommy Kelly gets his hands on him, and Kalimba Edwards comes in there to finish him off. They don't have that dominant pass rusher right now, but you can see Matt Castle. Look at him get out of there, and he does have the ability for a big man, Kevin, to use his legs and make some plays, extend the play, and make some opportunities for some big throws down the field.
Raiders have been going with the nickel because of the 3 wide receivers. 2nd down and 10. Sammy Morris. There's a block by Kazur and a tackle made by Morrison. It's a gain of 4 to the 35.
And as the Patriots know, the Raiders love to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and so there will be some opportunities during the game for Matt Castle to step up in the pocket. And if they're playing man-to-man coverage, no one is really accounting for the quarterback when he pulls it down and runs. Matt Castle has shown the propensity to do that in the past.
Sands is out. Warren has come in. Here comes Kevin Falk for Morris. 3rd down and 6. Falk, Asamoah was beaten across the way. He's got the 1st down. He's to the 42. Picks up 8 on 3rd and 6 as we pick up JB from New York.
Kevin and Rich, Arizona shooting itself in the foot. 2 turnovers already. This off of a fumble by Anquan Bolden. Tavares Jackson hooks up with Sidney Rice. 2nd touchdown toss to the quarter by Jackson. 21-0 Vikings over Arizona. Kevin and Rich.
That's against the NFC West Division champs.
It's a guy I worked with in the offseason,
Yes, you
Javaris
did.
Jackson, 8 of 10 last week in relief of Gus Farad.
First down and 10. Lamont Jordan was in there with the fake snap, and here comes a covered secondary with no receiver open. It's Kalimba Edwards getting Castle on the fly. He's down to the 47. There's a flag at the 38. It's a gain of 10 as it stands right now.
And that's in the secondary. That's usually against the defense.
Well, they couldn't
Holding.
find anybody.
Number 21 defense.
Yep, you called it.
5-yard penalty will be assessed from the end of the run.
And that was a good example, Kevin, of Matt Castle pulling the ball down against all that man-to-man coverage and running.
You like his footwork. You watched a lot of tape of him this week.
I like a lot of things about Matt Castle. I think that, you know, we already talked about the fact that he stepped in a very difficult situation here in New England. His performance so far has been just solid. And you really think about, you know, he's thrust into duty, and he's been solid in relief of one of the best that's ever played the game, Tom Brady.
5 defensive backs, 1st and 10. And this is Morris with a block by Copeland, and then he is knocked down at about the 42. He is hit on the play by Thomas Howard. No gain. They stay at the 42. Take a look what's happened this season. Handful of plays into the year. Tom Brady was injured and out, and that's when Castle came in. They lost to the Jets on a Thursday night in overtime. And then Castle had a couple of 400-yard passing games. And then they come from behind and win last week in Seattle. 2nd down and 10. Morris was in the backfield. Light with the block at the tackle. This is Moss. He beats Asamoah. There's a flag down. The gain to the 29. 13-yard pickup as it stands right now.
Again, another flag in the secondary. They're going to call that on Asamoah.
Prior to the pass, holding. Number 21 defense. That penalty will be declined. Result of the play, 1st and 10.
Moss used to work with Asamoah in practice.
Yeah, and look at this. This is a good matchup. This is 2 of the better players at their positions. And I really thought the key for Castle was to follow the lead of every other NFL quarterback who's faced the Oakland Raiders, work away from Nnamdi Asamoah. But they're going right at him early in this football game.
5 defensive backs, 1st and 10, 29. Morris in the backfield. Blocked by Mankins. A little short for Morris. Coverage by the linebacker Howard.
You know, we look at that season in review so far for the Raiders, and I think it's really impressive what they've been able to do. When you lose your best player, Patriots, when you lose your best player in Tom Brady, and you're able to continue and pick the pieces up and move forward, it's a big credit to that guy right there, Bill Belichick, Kevin. They are great in December, 21-2. It's a big reason why they've won 5 straight AFC East titles.
2nd down and 10. Morris gets a block from Benjamin Watson. Dances free, and there he goes for another New England touchdown. 29-yard scamper. That was a terrific run by Sammy Morris with his 7th rushing touchdown this season. He had the game-winning plunge last week in Seattle.
And you're going to see Chris Johnson, the corner. He has a chance. He's going to be at the top of your screen. Right there in the secondary, you got to make those tackles. You have to be able to funnel the runner back up inside, but to be able to tackle a guy like Sammy Morris in the open field, that's what you're paid to do.
There was a terrific sealing block by the tight end, Benjamin Watson. 3 New England possessions, 3 consecutive scores. Gostowski puts another one through. 21-0 New England. 3:43 to play in the first. Morris does it here.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Best Buy. You happier. And by the Accord from Honda. All we know, all in one place.
Matt Castle with 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Falk, 1 to Moss. And moments ago, a 29-yard run by Sammy Morris, who also has runs in this first quarter of 15 yards and 14 yards. Gostowski with another kickoff, 3rd in a row. Miller circles under it at the 12-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. And then a good tackle made at the 34-yard line. Kelly Washington was there. Sam Aiken was there. 22-yard return. Here come the Raiders again. 3:37. Raiders have given up 3 consecutive touchdowns, and you can see what they've done offensively. 3 plays punt on their 3 consecutive possessions. Fargas on 1st and 10 corkscrews his way to the 38. Tripped up on the play by Mayo, among others. Gain of 4, spot him at the 38. Tuesday, see why critics are crazy about The Mentalist and viewers are under Simon Baker's spell. New episode Tuesday on CBS, America's most watched network. 4 in the secondary, and on the defensive line, they got Warren, Wilfork, and Seymour. 2nd down, short 6, 2 tight ends, Fargas in the backfield. Fargas running outside to the 42 and lassoed out there by the rookie Mayo. A gain of 5. Mayo leads him in tackles. He's to the 43.
Right. If you're the Raiders, just keep handing the ball to Justin Fargas. I mean, he is their best player, Kevin, offensively, without question. I think the keys, Tom Cable told us on Friday, the blueprint for success for this football team offensively, they need a 2-to-1 ratio running the ball to passing the ball. That has to be what they have to do. They have to keep it close here in the first half. Already down 21-0. They need a score on this drive.
Vince Red has come in for the injured Vrabel. It's 3rd down and 1. And the Fargas run of a yard may have gotten him the 1st down on that play. He was hit. They got a 1st down. Looked like Seymour was there, and also Ty Warren with the stop. So they moved the chains, getting the 1st down for the first time today.
And I really like Justin Fargas, Kevin. I mean, he's a guy that plays hard. He runs with a chip on his shoulder. He's very decisive, and the thing that I like about him, he never gives up on a run. He's always falling forward, and they need more players on this football team like Justin Fargas. He is a Raider.
4 defensive backs. Red still in for the injured Vrabel. Johnny Lee Higgins is in as a receiver. It's 1st down and 10. A Cornell green block, and there's Johnny Lee Higgins, who got by the defense. There's a block by Zach Miller. He is off to the races and into the end zone for a touchdown. A catch and run of 56 yards. Zach Miller with a terrific block, and he was covered by Ellis Hobbs, number 27.
And you're going to see they bring the blitz. They block it up. Jamarcus Russell does a nice job sitting in there and finding Johnny Lee Higgins. Good block down the field by the tight end, Zach Miller, and you're not going to catch Johnny Lee Higgins in the open field, Kevin. The one thing that guy right there can do is run. He is fast, Johnny Lee Higgins.
Patriot defense the last 4+ games has now allowed 11 touchdown passes. So Sebastian Janikowski will try to tack on one more with 1:34 to play here in the first quarter. High snap by Kondo, put down by Leckler. 7 on the board for the Raiders. Well, they'll try to keep the people warm. Johnny Lee Higgins out of Texas El Paso, racing for 56. He's a rookie and undrafted out of Liberty, but Higgins, look at that, their first touchdown in their last 20 possessions, courtesy of our statistician, Pat McGrath.
Well, they needed to get something going, Kevin, and they needed to kind of get a jump to kind of spark this offense. And nice job sitting there in there by Jamarcus Russell. Good job on that offensive line, giving him some time, and Johnny Lee Higgins just working that secondary.
Well, here's now Janikowski, number 2 in touchbacks in the NFL. A steady rain continues to fall. There is Ellis Hobbs at a 55-yard return last week in Seattle. He is the number 4 kickoff return man in the NFL. Racing up the middle, and then Dallas. LaKeven Smith provided a block. Cooper makes the tackle. The run to the 22, a 24-yard return. Castle back out there. Pete Carroll's day job coaching the USC Trojans is going wonderfully, but it's his night job that got him on 60 Minutes tonight on CBS. Hiram Eugene will come out of the secondary for the Raiders as you take a look at the first 3 possessions for the New England Patriots. Lamont Jordan, the ex-Raider, in the backfield from the 23. It's 1st and 10. Michael Huff is in the secondary too. He did not start today for the Raiders. Jordan. He is hit by Burgess, wrapped up after a gain of about 2. He's to the 25-yard line.
You watch this New England football team. They have a very specific plan of attack each week for each opponent. I like the way they use the backs, Kevin. You see right there Lamont Jordan, who's up and running again, and Sammy Morris, Kevin Falk. They all have a very specific role in this offense.
Falk is in the backfield. 2nd down and 8. Warren is the nose tackle on that defensive line. The other defensive tackle is Tommy Kelly. A nickel secondary is what Castle will look at. Here comes Falk. Got away from Warren. Got a block from Copen. And squirms his way to the 31 on a catch and run, a 6 for Kevin Falk. He caught a touchdown pass earlier in the game.
And as you and I talk about each week, New England's a very good screen team. The reason why Kevin Falk, very patient, and they have offensive linemen that can get downfield, that are very athletic, that can get some blocks in the secondary.
Still 5 in the secondary. Sam Aiken is coming as a 4th wide receiver. 3rd and 2. Falk in the backfield. Huff wanted a timeout. Nobody saw it. Well, yes, they did on the side. They did call it in time. The line judge came racing from the sideline. He did see Huff signal for and get
Timeout
that
open.
timeout.
The team's first. 30-second timeout.
9 seconds to play in the first. Timeout Raiders. Raiders stick in the nickel. 3rd down and 2. Limba Edwards, Kelly, Warren, Burgess on the defensive line.
Keep an eye right here. A lot of motions with Wes Walker. They like to move him around, get him off that press coverage at the line of scrimmage.
Burgess is offside unless he was induced.
Offside. Number 56. Defense unabated to the quarterback. 5 yards, and the result of that penalty, 1st and 10, New England.
How about that? That is the 4th penalty against the Raiders.
And Kevin, they have a couple of them each and every timeout. We saw the Tommy Kelly penalty last week against San Diego. They had him backed up. He commits a personal foul. The Chargers wound up going 96 yards on a scoring drive.
Russ Holstein comes in as a tackle eligible. Jordan gets the call. The Heath Evans block, and there's the run. Stephen Neal with a nice block, too. He's up to the 40, picks up 4 yards on the play. Warren makes the stop, and that will end the first quarter. On their first 3, former NFL MVP Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan starting the second quarter. 2 Castle touchdown passes, a touchdown run by Morris. 2nd down and 6 into the nickel. Castle. Falk. Hit by Morrison. Catch and run to the 47. He's got the first down, picks up 14. As we scan the AFC playoff picture.
You look right there at Pittsburgh, Kevin, playing in the second game today at Baltimore. They win that game. They clinch the AFC North in a first-round bye. Denver, they win today, and they win the AFC West. And then, of course, Miami really in control of the situation in the AFC East. They win those last 2 games. They will represent the AFC East in the playoffs.
On Jordan in the backfield, it is a first down from the 47-yard line for Castle. He got by Light. Edwards almost got Castle. There's Welker out of space. He is hit by Baker and run out of bounds. At about the 16-yard line, a 31-yard catch by Welker. Had one earlier in the game for 15.
And you're just going to see Welker. He's going to work all the way back across the field. And Randy Moss really cleaned out that secondary for Wes Welker. You see him, good job stepping up. That's the one thing when you watch film on Matt Castle. He does a nice job sensing pressure, stepping up in the pocket, and giving himself a chance to make a good, accurate throw down the field.
William Joseph is coming at one of the defensive tackles, 1st and 10. Jordan is in there. He got a block from Watson, and he is down to about the 13-yard line. And then hit on the play by Kalimba Edwards, the X-line. It's a pickup of 3.
Kevin, right now the Raiders really don't have an answer for Kevin Falk or Wes Walker. I mean, these 2 guys right now are a big part of why this New England offense is really playing some of its best football down the stretch.
John Alston will come in, a linebacker. They take out a couple of defensive backs. Morris is in the game, and Falk is a receiver. Bottom of your screen, 2nd down and 7. Into the nickel. Look at the time.
Oh,
Welker, what a block in there by Morris, and Welker is in for a touchdown. His 100th reception of the season is good for a 13-yard strike. And Morris with a great downfield block.
And Kevin, the Raiders really don't have an answer in these zone concepts. Wes Walker is just going to work back across the field. The linebackers for the Raiders struggle covering routes underneath. You see right there in the corner of your picture, you see Austin, he gets tied up. Wes Welker starts from the right, works all the way back across the formation. It's the second time in this series that he's done that.
Third touchdown pass by Castle. Extra point by Gostowski. New England has scored on every possession today. Falk with the touchdown reception. Moss with the touchdown reception. Morris on the run, and right here, 13 yards to Welker. New England has scored on every possession today. With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. Happy holidays. Matt Castle's father passes away earlier in the week. He misses a couple days of practice, comes out with 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, Kevin, he has been steady all season, 10 of 14 here, 3 touchdowns. He's looked great. They've scored on every drive, as you said, and right now the Raiders defensively don't have an answer for Matt Castle in this offense.
Justin Miller got a block from Stewart, finds a hole. There he goes. Gostowski is in chase. Aiken trying to get him. Oh my goodness! For the second consecutive game, Justin Miller has returned a kickoff for a touchdown. 91 yards here, 92 yards in San Diego 10 days ago. Unbelievable.
And Kevin, you and I talked about it, Kevin. We really felt before the game this was their best chance of scoring today in the return game. They're very good in the kicking game. They're very good in the special teams. Justin Miller, again, has been very steady returning the ball in the kicking game for the Raiders the last couple of weeks.
Flag was picked up, inadvertently thrown. The touchdown kick return stands by Miller. You can see the rain. Here is Janikowski. And it is 28-14, Justin Miller. That's the 4th total kick return touchdown for the Raiders this season, 12:59 in the second. They're wet, but they're happy. Kickoff return and 91 yards by Miller. Last game he played, Thursday Night Football, he had a 92-yard kickoff return against the Chargers. The ensuing kickoff by Janikowski. Hobbs from the 5. Miller with the block. Morris with the block. Janikowski pushes him out. No, he did not, and this is going to go to the house. 95-yard kickoff return. Ellis Hobbs.
I don't know what the special teams coach Brad Seeley said to those guys on the sidelines, but that's what you do. You answer the score, and Ellis Hobbs, one of the better return guys. And look how decisive he is. He's straight downhill, and now Sebastian Janikowski, all he can do is take an angle and try and push Ellis Hobbs out of bounds, but there's just too much speed there for him to handle.
That is his 3rd career kickoff return for a touchdown. 5'9" Hobbs, a 4th-year player, 3rd-round pick out of Iowa State. He had, you may recall, that 108-yard kickoff return last season. Gostowski is really getting to work out here in the rain in the Bay Area, puts it through, and that makes it 35-14. 12:46 to play here in the second. What fireworks between the Pats and the Raiders. Miller for the Raiders, 91 yards. Hobbs, you got to get some oxygen after you race 95 yards for the Patriots touchdown.
Not can Justin Miller do it again? That's the question, Kevin.
He has enough in his tank. It's a little chip shot by Gostowski.
You're not going to give him a chance.
It's caught by the tight end, Stewart. Fair caught it at the 26-yard line. Thought the fantasy football season was over. It's not. Sign up for it. Here comes Jamarcus Russell. He has started the game 2 of 6. He does have a touchdown pass. That was a catch and run of 56 yards by Johnny Lee Higgins. Vrabel is back out there, by the way. He was hurt. Red came in. Now Vrabel is back in the game. There are 4 in the secondary. And it's 1st and 10 with the Wildcat. And McFadden, the rookie out of Arkansas, is in. At his side, Fargas. Fargas gets the handoff. Oh, Vince Wilfork just plugged the gap, allowed nothing on the play except a yard gain to the 26. Flag is down. Well, if you're ever going to run the Wildcat, McFadden is the guy, because that's who ran it in Arkansas, where it kind of, in the quarterback coach at Miami is the one who kind of instituted it there.
Number 94 defense in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
That is the first penalty against the New England Patriots this afternoon.
Again, Kevin, I think the key for the Raiders, despite the score, they're going to have to find a way to generate some production offensively. They have to find a way to get Jamarcus going a little bit. He's going to have to throw the ball. It's obvious in this weather. You're going to see how he handles the wet ball.
Richardson playing the cornerback atop your screen on 1st and 5. McFadden was in the backfield. Russell is on the move. Almost picked off, incomplete. Lewis Sanders just about got it, and Chaz Schillens, the rookie, was in the sights of Russell.
And in his defense right there, Kevin, Jamarcus Russell, protection has been a problem all season. Watch this. He can't set his feet. He's got to step up. Now he's under duress, and you got to make a good, accurate throw downfield. The pressure. Watch the hits after the play. And this can be tough on a young player. And the thing that I'm worried about with Jamarcus Russell right now, I'm worried about his confidence. Can he sit in there and take these type of poundings week in and week out, not only from these players, but from the press as well?
2nd down, 5 into the nickel. Here's the handoff to McFadden. And Deltha O'Neal touches him down as he tripped. It's a gain of 7. Spot him at the 36. What a game so far. Patriots have scored on each of their possessions. Raiders have gotten a catch and run from Higgins of 56, a kickoff return by Hobbs, and Miller back to back. 1st down and 10. Richardson has taken the play, so Will Hyde at the cornerback atop your screen. First down and 10. McFadden remains. 2 tight ends. Wilfork again brings him down. Had that shoulder injury last week. No gain on the play to the 37-yard line.
As you see right there, the Patriots bringing extra defenders up at the line of scrimmage, actually a blitz. The thing when you watch the Oakland Raiders, they're not going to change plays at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of audibles in this system. I think they don't want to overwhelm Jamarcus Russell right now. They try and keep it simple. They're very vanilla offensively. Not a lot for the Patriots to have to prepare for this week in terms of formations, motions, and shifts. Pretty simple.
Hobbs comes back in, 37-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Richardson was taking Hobbs' place at that cornerback position. Pitch out, McFadden. Comes into his own blocker, Cooper Carlisle, the ex-Bronco. Down there, Warren along with Vrabel make the stop after a gain of a yard to the 38.
And Kevin, we talk about the carousel of play callers. I don't think that's helped the development. You see right there, Tom Cable calling plays. That hasn't helped the development of the young quarterback, Jamarcus Russell. 3 different play callers this year, Lane Kiffin, Greg Knapp, and now Tom Cable. And that is tough for any quarterback, particularly a quarterback really in his first year as a starter.
Deltha O'Neal is the nickelback because Tommy Lee Higgins is in as the 3rd receiver. Bush is in the backfield, 3rd down and 9. Bush with the block. Dropped. That was Curry across the middle. And he drops it, and they got a punt, and there's a Patriot player down. I think it is Lewis Sanders.
And they can't afford to lose Lewis Sanders. They're already without James Sanders, the free safety, and Lewis, a converted corner, playing safety today because of the injury. You see a back shoulder throw there. You got to be perfect when you try and hit these crossing routes.
I wonder how hard that is to do, to shift from cornerback, where your career is kind of taking you, to safety.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on. Obviously, a lot more in the middle of the field in terms of responsibilities, in terms of calls, and not only that, Kevin, but in terms of run support. A lot different playing corner than it is playing safety. A lot more difficult to play safety.
Falk is back at the 10. Leckler's had punts of 43, 26, and 62 yards. Good hang time here. 20-yard line. Here's Hiram Eugene, who makes the stop on Kevin Falk at the 20. 42-yard punt with great hang time of 4.5. Here comes Matt Castle, the author of 3 touchdown passes today.
Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, your beer is as cold as the Rockies. And by Radio Shack. Get the most from your electronics at Radio Shack, where you don't just buy stuff, you do stuff.
Light rain in the Bay Area. 4th receiver will be Sam Aiken, bottom of your screen. Nickel secondary is what Castle will face. First down and 10 with Falk in the backfield. It's batted down. Did Burgess get through there? They called an incomplete pass. Glenn Edwards was also right in the grill of Matt Castle, who has thrown 3 touchdown passes today. It'll be second down and 10.
It's good to see Derek Burgess back out there, Kevin. A guy that was a pretty explosive player for the Raiders the last couple of years. Injuries certainly have hurt his production. Just 1.5 sacks this year, but again, finding a guy that can get some pressure on Matt Castle would certainly help this defense.
Jordan in the backfield. Second down 10. Lamont Jordan. Big block by Copen. Big block across the way by Cashier. Gain to the 29. Player is down. Gain of 9 on the play by Lamont Jordan, who is down for the Patriots. Offensive lineman, but I cannot see a number.
Looks like Matt Light.
I think it is. You're right, Rich. It is Matt Light.
Looks like he's holding that shoulder. And you can't afford to lose a player like Matt Light right now, Kevin. They're maybe their most consistent offensive lineman this season. It protects the backside of the quarterback, and injuries have really hurt this football.
Brady is not here, by the way. We're in Northern California. We assume he is watching back home, but he is not with the team. So LaVore comes in as the left tackle. Raiders have put in another linebacker. They have 3 defensive backs and 4 linebackers. Russ Hochstein is in. Jordan in the backfield. Evans with the block. It's by Alston. Runs into Morrison. Lamont Jordan, his former teammate, down at the 30 on a gain of 2. On that 3rd and 1. Looks like they have picked up the first down. They'll move the chains. Jordan does the job.
And they ran right at Mark LaVore. Filling in for Matt Light at left.
Got Hochstein over there for even more muscle.
Consistency and production out of him.
Back to the nickel. Falk becomes the 4th receiver. First down and 10. Castle looking for a Walker block, and then everything crumbled, and Howard chases him down from behind. That scramble picks up about 7.5 yards. Call it 8 to the 38-yard line.
Tyler Thigpen from Kansas City. I went back and watched their tape 2 weeks ago. Plays with your legs.
Edwards and Burgess, Warren and Tommy Kelly on the defensive line. Second down, short 3. Kevin Falk make it to Lamont Jordan, who swerves his way into the grasp of Edwards. He has another first down to the 49-yard line and a pickup of 9 yards.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin, this defense really is struggling right now. I don't like their demeanor. Guys walking around, they're getting gashed. They're getting gashed in the passing game, and they are getting run at, and they don't have answers. This offensive line of the Patriots is doing a good job with that front 7. They're getting movement, opening up holes for guys like Kevin Falk and Sammy Morris.
Richardson has come in. Sands coming in. Joseph coming in on the defensive line. First down and 10. Jordan in the backfield in the call. Good block by Cashier. And to the 47-yard line with the tackle made right there by Jay Richardson on a gain of 4. Well, that's the way the Patriots began the game. 7th play of the drive. Second down and 6. Jordan again. Fighting his way through. Richardson among a couple that make the stop. Gain to about the 43, couple yards shy of a first. He picks up 4 on the play, and in the secondary, Jabril Wilson makes the stop.
And Kevin, we didn't mention that the New England Patriots actually stayed out here on the West Coast after their Seattle game last week. They stayed down in San Jose. They practiced down there, and Bill Belichick really felt like it was the right thing to do. He said the travel back and forth between the West Coast, that long flight, that long trip, just too hard on this football team this time of the year.
3rd down and 2. LaVore still the left tackle. Falk is in the backfield. Watson drops it, deflected and picked up by Jabril Wilson. And he is tackled on the play, downfield by Welker. It's the first turnover. He's to the 25. And the deflected pass gives the Raiders the ball back with some shoving after the play. And Castle throws the interception. His 11th of the season.
Boy, this drives you crazy if you're a quarterback. You're Matt Castle. Deflected balls. You just watch here. He's going to be working the tight end, Benjamin Watson, across the middle of the field. And he hits him a little bit high. And deflected balls usually wind up in the hands of those safeties in the secondary.
That's Jabril Wilson's 2nd interception. Watch this little hit by Burgess on the quarterback, Castle.
And that's what they're told to do. When there's an interception, they usually go after the quarterback. If you're Matt Castle, you have to have your head on a swivel.
So it is 1st and 10 for Jamarcus Russell. Fargas in the backfield. Couple tight ends. Fargas running hard up to the 33-yard line and brought down there. He was hit by Ward and grabbed on the play by Guyton on a gain of 7.
You see Rob Ryan right there. He is not happy with this defense right now. Rob Ryan coached in New England, and he expects and he wants more out of this defense. And Kevin, it all starts with passion. It starts with energy. It starts with finish. You have to have it. You have to have it each and every snap.
Johnny Lee Higgins atop your screen. 4 in the secondary. 2nd down and 3. Fargas picking and poking his way and tripped up and falls ahead. 41-yard line. Looked like he might have been tripped up by Guyton and Mayo again. It's a gain of 8. They move the chains. They pick up the 1st down.
And if I'm Tom Cable, and making sure you feature Justin Fargas and Darren McFadden, keep pounding the rock.
Guyton has to leave on the inside. Here comes Junior Sam. 4 defensive backs, 1st and 10. Fargas remains. Luke Lawton is the fullback. He gives the first blow on the lead block. Then Mayo is in there with a bunch of others making the stop on Justin Fargas. And there goes Matt Light, the Pro Bowl left tackle. It's a gain of 4 by Fargas to the 44. Shoulder injury. Questionable return for Light. So we're going to see a lot more of LaVore. 2nd down and 6 coming up. On the defensive line, they've got Will Fork in the middle. Jarvis Green now at the right defensive end. Ty Warren at the left. Vrabel, who was out for a while, back in there, as we said before, at the outside backer. 2nd down and 6. Fake to Fargas. That's caught by the tight end, Zach Miller. Hit by Merriweather. And brought down in the play at the 32. A 23-yard pass and a 1st down for the Raiders.
Well, this is a staple throw right now for the Raiders. They love the misdirection. You're going to see the quarterback come out. He's going to work back. Watch the tight end, though. He's going to come down, and he's going to just work in this little flat zone. They do a really good job selling it. And that's something that Zach Miller does a great job of. When we talked with the Patriots last night, they said their leading receiver is Zach Miller. We have to be aware of where he lines up and make sure we have an answer for him.
Kevin Smith is coming on the defensive line. 1st down, 32-yard line. Sayal remains, and a timeout has been taken, and it's by New England. First play in Patriots territory for the Raiders coming up. Goes down in 10. McFadden is in the backfield. Russell, Johnny Lee Higgins. Blockers ahead, including McFadden. Down by Kevin Smith and Mayo at the 24. He picks up 8 on the catch and run. Earlier in the game, Johnny Lee Higgins had a catch and run for a touchdown of 56 yards.
You know, the impressive thing, Kevin, is that the Raiders got behind early, but they didn't pack their tents. They've hung in there. They've battled. And to their credit, I mean, up to this point, while things haven't been rosy out here in Oakland, they've been inconsistent. There hasn't been any signs of giving up or not competing. I mean, these guys are out here offensively. They're trying to find a way to get the ball into the end zone.
Will Fork back in the middle, 2nd down and 2. McFadden remains in the backfield. Curry is the extra receiver. Good block by Gallery. It's intercepted. Jonathan Wilhite with blockers ahead. He'll try to give him some breathing space. Schillens comes in and hits him along with Mario Henderson. It is a pickoff, a return to the 17, 15-yard return. And an excited secondary for the New England Patriots. Wilhite with the pick, his first.
And this is why they don't audible. I mean, this is bad, and this is a problem for them all year. You see Jamarcus Russell, he changed the play at the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like he and the receiver were even on the same page. Looks like the receiver was just clearing a route and not even expecting it. And when your receivers don't go up and compete for the ball and try and make a play and give a player like this, Jonathan Wilhite, a chance to make an interception, you just don't give yourself any chance.
Falk in the backfield, 1st and 10. Wilhite, his first career interception from the 17. Falk, blocked by Neal. Look at the running Falk across the lane. He was hit by Rashad Baker. Hands the 1st down, and he's hit to the 41-yard line. Make it the 40 now with a 23-yard burst by Kevin Falk.
And Kevin, we tell you how they spread you out. It looks like pass, and then they mix in the draw. And this is really what they want to do. They want to spread out that front seven, create some lanes up inside for backs like Kevin Falk.
Falk remains, no huddle, 1st and 10. LaVoie with the block at the left tackle. Falk again. And he's brought down by Jabril Wilson into Raider territory at the 48, a catch and run of 12.
I'll tell you what, they're going to wear out Kevin Falk. And New England, Kevin, already has 128 yards rushing in this football game. 128 yards. We're not even through the first half.
2-minute warning. We've had a kickoff return by Hobbs of 95, a touchdown run of Morris, and 3 Castle touchdown passes. Patriots on the move again at the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10, Patriots on the move. Falk in the backfield, 5 in the secondary from the 49-yard line of Oakland. Measure a block. Castle chased by Kelly. Throws it out of bounds. We know that Castle has already thrown 3 first-half touchdowns. His father passing away this week. Shins of Brett Favre a couple years ago when he threw all those touchdown passes in a Packer win against the Raiders. This one went to Falk from 7. This one a perfectly thrown pass to Randy Moss. And this baby to Welker. Morris had a great block on the play.
Well, he's backed up some of the best quarterbacks in America, as his college coach Pete Carroll said. You're talking about Heisman Trophy winners Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, and then Tom Brady here. And he got his opportunity, Kevin. He was ready. 2nd down and 10. Screen pass. With Logan Mankins out in front, it's Falk. There's a block by Moss. Run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line after a catch and run of 19 yards by Hiram Eugene. It is a 1st down. And they are killing them with the screens. Screens are great versus all this man-to-man coverage. All the defenders for the Raiders in the secondary are tied up in coverage with their backs to the line to their quarterback. And what happens is Kevin Falk gets into the secondary before they realize it's even a screen.
Falk on this drive, a run of 23, a catch and run of 12, and moments ago a catch and run of 19. 1st and 10 from the 29. Castle takes a timeout. That is the last New England timeout. You've seen the nickel the entire day, as you might imagine, with the 3 wide receivers set.
I really think he's played himself into a favorable position as it relates to free agency and a probable opportunity to go somewhere else as a starter next season.
Morris in the backfield. It is a 1st down run to the 27-yard line and hit on the play by Jabril Wilson. Also brought down by William Joseph, the ex-Giant, picks up 2 yards. So no timeouts for the Patriots.
Well, they just keep coming at you. They just never take their foot off the throttle. They just keep bringing in different fresh backs, different receivers, and Matt Castle has done a really good job sprinkling the ball around to all his weapons.
Falk is in, 2nd down and 8. Blocked by Neal. Here is Welker across the middle and hemmed in at the 20-yard line where he's brought down. Route was there. Also a tackle by Morrison. It's a catch of 7 yards.
Well, the protection has been solid, and Wes Welker is just killing this Raiders defense, working all the way across the formation, all the way across the field on those little shallow cross routes.
They're down in 1. Falk runs in Neal, bounces, has the 1st down. They're just shredding this defense. Tackle was made by Wilson. He picks up 6. Move the chains. Can't stop the clock. You see it ticking down here in the 2nd quarter.
And too many Raider players on the ground. You're seeing the offensive line, they're getting some cuts, they're getting those big guys on the ground.
1st down and 10. Kazir with the block, Neal with the block. Trevor Stott just checked in on the defensive line for his 1st defensive play, and he brings down Castle. No gain, they remain at the 13.
And that's a situation where he would have been better served throwing it away.
Now he's going to spike it. So a 2nd and 10 becomes a 3rd and 10. Here comes a flag.
And you're going to have a penalty on Jabbar Gaffney for not being set.
And they're going to try for 3.
Now, if he would have thrown it away there, they would have had another opportunity at least.
Illegal shift. Offense number 10.
You called it.
That penalty under 1 minute with the clock running requires a 10-second runoff.
Well, they're fortunate.
Since they are out of timeouts. Please reset the game clock to 1 second.
Wow.
And Belichick very much on top of the situation. Gostowski will try the field goal. He's made 10 consecutive hits on the road, as you can see. number 1 in field goals made. This is the leading scorer in the NFL. 37-yard try, and there's a timeout taken by the Raiders. Oh, yeah, that is the end of the half. So they had to start the clock.
They had no way of killing the ball.
You're exactly right. So that takes us to halftime here with 3 first-half touchdowns by Matt Castle and a 95-yard kickoff return by Elizon. Patriots in the first half.
Yeah, over 331 yards of total offense. Kevin Falk has been impressive. He has over 100 yards of total offense. And Matt Castle, 3 touchdowns. They've been very, very efficient in the first half. And it all started on that first possession, getting Falk underneath. A good block there by Wes Walker. And some pinpoint accuracy with his throwing. The screens have hurt them. And the Raiders defensively have just had no answer. Watch this finish right there by Wes Walker. I mean, he knows how to finish plays, and you see the first half numbers. Look at the time of possession, the total yards, first downs. Just a dominant first half performance by this New England offense.
Well, we know the Jets have won. We know the Miami Dolphins have won. And to stay pace with them, New England has got to win. If Miami wins out, they win the division. If the Jets win out, they win the division. There's a chip shot by Janikowski. In front of Hobbs, 25-yard line. Morris with the block, and then the tackle was made at the 32-yard line by Hiram Eugene. 8-yard return.
Well, you look at the quarterback comparison in the first half, and Matt Castle been very efficient, and Jamarcus Russell struggled a little bit. I'll tell you what, they paid this guy a lot of money. I want to see him chuck it around a little bit here in the second half, Kevin. I want to find out about Jamarcus Russell, what type of competitor he is, and anxious to see him throw the ball down the field a little bit here in the second half.
Morris in the backfield. LeVore continues to play left tackle. Light hurt his shoulder. Went back to the locker room before halftime. First down and 10. Morris blocked by LeVore. And the run is to about the 34. Gain of a yard. Warren was there.
It'll be interesting to see what type of, you see right there the first half possessions, but it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders do. Look at that domination. Scored in the first 4 possessions, and they would have taken care of the clock management into the half. They probably would have had 3 more, but interesting to see what the Raiders did defensively at halftime to make adjustments defensively.
4 defensive backs. Second down. Outside that goes to Moss. He works on Asamoah. He's got the first down. He's at the 44-yard line, picks up 11 yards.
And Nnamdi Asamoah has had a very boring season so far. Not a lot of action his way, but they're going after him. They're challenging. Look at his back shoulder throw. Purposely thrown behind him to slow him down the hole underneath Nnamdi Asamoah. Kevin, he is their best defensive player by far. He's an ideal corner in terms of his size and his speed and quickness. He has those long arms, and he can really jam you and disrupt you at the line of scrimmage.
Mont Jordan is in the game. Heath Evans is the fullback. 4 in the secondary. They played basically nickel the entire first half.
He was going with Randy Moss most of the day. Nnamdi Asamoah has.
First and 10. Castle throws. Moss again. Covered by Asamoah. 14-yard pickup. Another first down. 42 of the Raiders.
Right now, Randy Moss is winning that battle one-on-one with Nnamdi Asamoah. And I don't know that Nnamdi Asamoah has had to cover a guy that has the ability that Randy Moss has all season long. And people haven't challenged him. And you see the difference there. The familiar guy that played here in Oakland and in New England.
Nickel secondary. Morris is in. First and 10. Sammy cuts outside. Got a block from LeVore. Got a block from Welker. He's in the secondary and off to the races. Moving a pile inside the 10. Fumbled the ball. Picked up by Gaffney. They mark him down at the 7. Hit by Wilson on the play. A 35-yard season-long run by Sammy Morris.
And look at him just slash. Look at the blocking downfield. You see Wes Walker, and very unselfish football team. These receivers, they do a great job in the secondary getting hats on these defenders and allowing backs like Sammy Morris to make plays down the field. Now he's down.
Falk is in the backfield. First and goal at the 7. 5 defensive backs into the rain. Castle. Good block by LeVore. Coverage by Asamoah on Welker. Incompleted about the 3. So he's getting a little exposed today. I don't think he has seen this many balls thrown to him in one game, Asamoah, all season long.
And most teams have worked away from, all things being equal, you work away from Nnamdi Asamoah. But I'll tell you what, Kevin, this New England football team, they have challenged him, and particularly with Randy Moss. And Randy Moss still has the ability to stretch the field and make the big play. 9 touchdowns this season, 8 touchdowns for Randy Moss, but the red zone, that's the guy they look for.
Nickel secondary, second down, going to 7. Morris in the backfield. Salmon stuffed. A lot of guys got a hand on him. Loss of 2, back to the 10.
Sammy Morris hit behind the line of scrimmage.
And they had Richardson among the many.
As we mentioned earlier, I was interested to see what the Raiders were going to do defensively, what adjustments they would make at halftime after giving up 331 yards of offense in the first half.
Well, they came out with the 4 defensive backs. Now they've gone back to that nickel.
Yeah, you have to, Kevin. They just have too many weapons offensively, does New England, and you just keep coming at you with different guys.
3rd and goal. Falk is back in. Blocked by Kazir. Touchdown, Moss, his 2nd today, as he beat Jabril Wilson in the back of the end zone. On that drive, Moss caught passes of 11 and 14 yards. Castle has just thrown his 4th touchdown pass today.
This is what we talked about in the red zone, the guy they want to work. You see Welker underneath, he draws the crowd, and Randy Moss works right back over top in front of Jabril Wilson. He's a big body, a big target in the red zone. You see right there, 4 touchdown passes today, a career high from Matt Castle.
Gostowski will try the extra point. Hansen will hold it. Paxson on the snap. And just like that, 42-14, first, second half possession. Randy Moss, one of the big headlines coming into this game, his return to the Raiders, the team he used to play for. He's killing them today. Perfect day, a 9-yard touchdown reception right there. Had a 20-yard touchdown catch back in the first half. Castle has 16 completions to only 3 receivers. Falk has caught 6. Moss has caught 5. Welker's caught 5 in the ensuing kickoff. Miller from the 1. He's got a kickoff return touchdown today. Looks like Kelly Washington in there, the ex-Cincinnati Bengal, making the stop at the 22-yard return. Asamoah was hit pretty hard by Moss on that drive. Studying the plays right now. 11:31. MetLife Blimp providing today's scenics. Look for the MetLife Blimps as we team up with CBS for more coverage this fall. 23-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Schillens will be one of the receivers with Johnny Lee Higgins. McFadden in the backfield. Seau continues to take the place of the inside linebacker, Gary Guyton, who left in the first half with an injury. McFadden. Roosevelt Colvin brings him down. 50-yard line. That is a catch and run of 27 yards for the rookie out of Arkansas on a 1st down.
And there's Oakland's one breakaway option right there. Darren McFadden, not a whole lot from him in the first half. You have to find a way to get the ball into the hands of your playmakers. Good job by Jamarcus Russell, reading the coverage, not there, checking it down to the backs, and then watch this guy work, making a guy miss, and he has that elusive speed to get in the secondary and really hurt you.
Lakeven Smith is coming on the defensive line. He's down in 10. Vargas is out, and McFadden continues on the drive. Seau comes in and makes the stop. No gain on the play. They stay at the 50-yard line.
I don't think there's any question about the physical gifts of Jamarcus Russell. I mean, yes, he just has to continue to grow in the system and his understanding of the passing game and what it takes to be a player in this league. And I think they need more production through the air to have a chance. They're last in the National Football League right now in passing, just 137 yards per game and just 7 touchdowns through the air. But he needs help. He can't do it himself. The offensive line must improve, and they have to find some more playmakers for him on the outside.
2 tight ends, 4 in the secondary. Fake handoff to McFadden. 2nd and 10 with the rush coming on from Seau. There was a block by Miller. They're going deep for Schillens, who is jousting with Lewis Sanders. No yellow. Great defensive play. Incomplete pass. The Raiders are facing 3rd and 10.
And this is what he can do. I mean, he is an athletic guy. He moves very well. Look at Junior Seau. He makes a miss. He gets out here. He has the ability to extend the play, and he can make every possible throw. I mean, this is a good throw, just good coverage right there by Lewis Sanders.
Fargas will be in the backfield as we watch the pass to the rookie Schillings. 3rd down and 10. Raiders have not converted a 3rd and 10 or longer since week 3 against the Bills. Deltha O'Neal comes in as the nickelback. Wright and Green are on the defensive line. Here comes Jarvis Green. Here comes Wright. Knocks the ball away. That is a fumble, and it was reeled in by Russell back at the 34. Loss of 16. They got a punt again.
And Kevin, as you said, they haven't converted a 3rd down since week 3. I mean, when it gets 3rd and long, this team is in trouble. As we talked about, they don't have the receivers that are going to win for you. Jamarcus Russell just doing everything he can to try and make a play down the field.
4 plays, punt. Falk is back at the 20-yard line for the New England Patriots. Rush put on by Washington. Great punt by Leckler. Landing at the 5, and it cannot catch enough turf. He gets off a rocket, a 66-yard punt. He had one earlier for 62. 9:20 in the 3rd. Patriots get it back when we get back. Punt moments ago by the Raiders. Morris in the backfield, 1st and 10. And the pile right there makes the stop. Tommy Kelly among others on a gain of 3 on that 1st and 10 to the 23-yard line by Morris. Another great acquisition by this franchise, and the man who heads it all is Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, next to his wife, and he came in our booth before the game. And you know, the guy loves football. He had season tickets before he bought the team.
Yeah, he's a fan of the game. They've had a successful run, Kevin. Since October of 2001, they've won 107 of the last 138 games.
2nd and 7. They were going outside as Asamoah was watching Moss, incomplete. Bill Belichick won his 150th game last week. Talk about the highest winning percentage coaches. We'll talk about Papa Bear George Halas at 68%. Don Shula's got the all-time amount of wins. Then Curly Lambeau of the Green Bay Packers. Then Joe Gibbs at just under 63%. And Belichick getting 150 last week. 3rd down and 7. Welker on the move. Nickel secondary. Falk in the backfield. LaVore taking the place of Light. The block at the left tackle. That is incomplete. He was overshooting Welker. He was covered on the play by Rout. There is a flag across the way at the 32.
Boy, they're just grabbing him in the secondary, Ken. I think if I'm not mistaken, that's the 3rd holding penalty in the secondary today.
Prior to the pass, holding. Number 21 defense.
Wow.
5-yard penalty with an automatic 1st down.
The 101st penalty this season against Tom Cable's Oakland Raiders. They have the most in the NFL with a look at Belichick. His team has the fewest penalties in the NFL.
Well, you look at that man right there. It's about consistency. Consistency with his message and the expectations of everyone in the organization. It's about attention to detail, Kevin. That's one of the reasons why they're the least penalized team in the NFL.
Morris in the backfield. It is a 1st down from the 27. Castle with 4 touchdown passes today, and looking for Gaffney. Covered in the play by Chris Johnson, who dropped the ball incomplete. Nice coverage on the play nonetheless by Johnson. When he came out of college out of Louisville 5 years ago, they thought he was the fastest defensive back in the draft.
And you know what? Chris Johnson has really taken advantage of this opportunity. He filled in for D'Angelo Hall, and he has gotten better each week. And look at this. One thing he can do is he can run. And the other thing is he does a good job making plays on the ball, and he's an aggressive corner, and that's the type of corners they like here in Oakland.
Richardson, Scott, Warren, and Joseph on the defensive line for the Raiders with 5 in the secondary. 2nd down and 10. Morris in the backfield. Sanders, good block by Kaji. Moves a pile out to the 32-yard line, where it was brought down by Jabril Wilson and by William Joseph. It is a gain of 4. They spot him at the 32. Morris, a great acquisition. He's played in the AFC East his entire career with Buffalo, Miami, and now with the New England Patriots.
You know, you look at the Patriots there, Kevin, and they really spoiled us last year during the regular season, going 16-0. And the win's been a little bit more difficult to come by this year. In fact, they haven't been able to win more than 2 in a row this season. But we know in December is really when they get on a roll.
6 defensive backs, 3rd down and 6. Falk is in the backfield. Casual with the block. They got by LaVore, and here they come, and Trevor Scott makes the sack. His 4th of the year. The rookie from Buffalo with the play. And they came in over Matt Light's replacement on the left side.
That's right, the replacement. And you see right there, he's holding the ball. He's waiting. A good job by Trevor Scott. He beats Mark LaVore one-on-one and starts him upfield. He works right back underneath. Matt Castle not expecting that one.
So they got a punt. Chris Hansen has only had 9 of his 40 punts returned. That's 23%, the lowest percentage of any punter in the NFL. Johnny Lee Higgins is back inside the 35. Low snap dropped. Got it away. Higgins, there's a flag thrown. Higgins from the 32. Gets by Larry Izzo, and then when he did that, he lost his footing, and he's down at the 41 on a 9-yard return, a 43-yard punt with the flag at the 31.
Should have lineman downfield. That would be my guess.
Rare punt for the New England Patriots today.
Usually when the head linesman throws that on a punt, it's using a legal lineman downfield.
That was the first punt by New England, and you can see John Perry trying to clarify things here.
Ineligible downfield on the kicking team, number 51. That penalty will be tacked on to the end of the run. 1st and 10.
It's Mayo, the rookie.
What happens is when you drop it, you don't handle it, things like that happen.
Here comes Jamarcus Russell, 7:09 in the 3rd.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by BlackBerry and by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
It's rained the entire game. First down and 10, 46-yard line. Outside it goes for McFadden. There is a block in the play by Mario Henderson. Chased by Merriweather. Out of bounds, Lewis Sanders. To the 31-yard line, the catch and run of 24 by Darren McFadden. Finished 2nd in the Heisman voting a season ago.
And they've been having success kicking this ball out wide. Watch the screen. Look at Gallery out in front. And you're one of your better players. Get him the ball in space. He has great vision and great speed to make a play in the secondary.
Kevin Smith has taken the place of Ty Warren on this defensive series. Will Fork still in the middle. 4 in the secondary. 1st and 10. 2 tight ends. Vargas blocked by Miller. Oh, and he high steps his way into the secondary, and he's grabbed by Sanders. Has the first down, racing to the 17-yard line, and picks up 13 on the play.
I love Justin Vargas, the way he runs. Decisive right downhill, jumping over piles, and he's very physical, and he's willing to lower his head and throw his body around and finish runs.
Now here comes Ty Warren as Vargas is covered with muck. So Warren, Wilfork, and Seymour on the line. It is 1st and 10. Higgins will be a receiver at the bottom of your screen. Vargas and McFadden in the backfield. McFadden, Vargas with the block.
Look at that speed.
He gets around Seau, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 6 by Merriweather. Nice run, you're right. He has great corner speed, 12-yard gain.
And that's what you can do if you can seal the edge like they do here. You get the cut on Colvin, and then watch McFadden. He's going to outrun Junior Seau to the corner.
Remember Seau taking the place of the rookie Guyton. We've had gains of 24, 13, and 12. The 12 and 24-yard runs by McFadden. So now they're at the 6. And they've got it 1st and goal. And they're going to bring in a brand new ball. That's our pause right here. They've been covering the ball with the towel between plays.
See Junior Seau and Roosevelt Colvin, guys that were back home, came in last week, were forced to play in that second quarter, and they get a lot of snaps here today.
2 tight ends, 1st and goal. Punt dropped by Miller. Had it, dropped it. They had Lewis Sanders, and they had Merriweather back there, 2nd down and goal.
Boy, I'm surprised he snuck out there, Zach Miller. The Patriots told us last night, Kevin, we have to keep an eye on Zach Miller. Look, the safeties have their eyes in the backfield. You see Lewis Sanders right there. This is a good throw. Zach Miller has to make that catch.
Here's an interesting note. The Patriot defense has not held their opponent without a red zone score since week 2. Let's see what Cable dials up here. Vargas in the backfield. Movement all over. False start, Raiders.
Boy, you just get in the red zone, you get in the scoring zone, and
False start. Number 86 offense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
We have just gotten word on Guyton. He has an ankle injury. He is out. We told you about Matt Light earlier with the shoulder. He went to the locker room. He probably will not return. With the penalty, second and goal back at the 10. That was on Tony Stewart, one of the tight ends. No changes defensively for the Patriots. Field is Fargus. Two tight ends remain. Looking for Curry, covered by Hobbs. Touchdown. 10-yard hit. Ronald Curry. Second touchdown reception of the season.
Boy, it's good to see Ronald Curry get a catch. And it's a great throw here by Jamarcus Russell. He puts air on it. He throws it in the back corner of the end zone where only Ronald Curry can go up and make a play. And Kevin, as we know, Ronald Curry is a great athlete. Looks like he might have hurt himself there coming down with that ball, but
Hobbs was beaten on the play. So the Raiders keep chiseling away. Janikowski's extra point. That was a great drive by the running backs. It was blocked. It's picked up by Janikowski, who was immediately hit by Wilhite. Watt.
And Kevin, 2 weeks ago against Kansas City, he had one tipped. It wound up going through.
So they get through. Was it Wilfork? I think it was who blocked it. 5:01 in the third. Seattle, Vince Wilfork had the blocked kick on the extra point try. Touchdown pass by Russell, the ensuing kickoff. Little chip. Sammy Morris. Good block by Heath Evans. Got by Luke Luck. Up against Rashad Baker, who brings him down near midfield. So they're trying to keep it away. Both these kickers are from the men who have had long kickoff returns for touchdowns today, Hobbs and Miller. 24-yard return. Well, tomorrow, Miami is a place filled with secrets and some are best left buried. An all-new CSI Miami. That's tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. With Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. Rainy, cold, windy Oakland. Lamont Jordan is in the backfield, 1st and 10. 4 touchdown passes by Castle today. LaVore continues to play the left tackle. Jordan. Trevor Scott got by LaVore, makes the tackle. He had a sack on him last time, throws him for a loss of 3 right here, back to the 44.
Trevor Scott making some plays. Back-to-back series. Run his way. Good job working up the field. You see him at the top of the screen, working on the left tackle there. Getting penetration in the backfield on perimeter runs. Penetration on perimeter runs will kill you every time.
5 defensive backs. Jordan remains in the backfield, 2nd and 13. Castle down 47-yard line and hit by Thomas Howard after a scramble of 2.
It was interesting when we talked with Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots last night. He said we just have to work with Matt on when to run and when not to run. Just making good decisions on when to pull it down and when it's appropriate and when to throw it away. And that's something that with any young quarterback, the more you play, the more reps, the more experience, the easier it is to make those type of decisions.
3rd down and 10, Falk in the backfield. 5 remaining in the secondary. Falk dropped it. Coverage by Morrison. Quick 3 and out for the New England Patriots for the first time today. 3 and out. Rich, when you get a lead this big, I mean, how hard is it to sustain the same adrenaline focus and concentration?
Yeah, you talk about that at halftime, and not only that, but when you're supposed to win against a team like the Raiders that's 3 and 10, it's easy to lose your focus a little bit. I thought that the Patriots came out in the first half and really played inspired football, but the Raiders have come back here in the second half, Kevin, and trying to make a little bit of a run.
Wins in the punt. Higgins back, the number 7 punt return man in the NFL, waves it off. Landed at the 15. Playing time of 4-4. And grabbed in the play by Slater. His dad, Jackie Slater, played many years in the National Football League, a 41-yard punt. Here is the NFC playoff picture.
Well, you look at the Giants have done it. Carolina can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Dallas loss or tie, or an Atlanta loss or tie. And that wild card you see there, Tampa Bay can clinch a wild card or playoff spot with a win and a Dallas loss, or Philadelphia loss or tie. And Kevin, that Dallas team, I just don't know about them. That T.O. meltdown this week, those type of distractions at this time of the year just kill you. I don't see the Cowboys making the playoffs.
Kevin Smith on the defensive line with Will Fork and Jarvis Green to begin this series. First down and 10. McFadden goes back in the backfield. Also threw a touchdown pass of 10 yards last time. Here's McFadden. Lead blocked by Cooper Carlisle. Racing his way into the grasp of Merriweather at the 29-yard line. That is a catch and run of 17. On the last drive, he had a catch and run of 24 and 12.
And both defenses are really struggling in terms of accounting for the running backs in the passing game. You see right here when you get 5 and 6 men rush. Look at the back get out in front, and you see right there the lineman Cooper Carlisle gets out in front. These little 1- and 2-man screens have really been hurting both of these defenses.
Vargas in the backfield, 4 in the secondary. First and 10. Vargas. And down it goes Roosevelt Colvin. One of a couple making the stop after a gain of 3 to the 32.
To the 32, a gain of 3.
And tomorrow on 2.5 Men, what would life be like without Charlie Harper? Real-life brother Emilio Estevez helps him find out on TV's #1 comedy. That's tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. So second down and 7. No changes defensively. Higgins will be atop your screen. Curry on the bottom. Curry caught that touchdown pass last series. Here comes Vrabel. Here comes Will Fork. There goes the pass, and broken up beautifully on the play by Gerard Mayo. Is intended for the fullback Heath Evans. Third down and 7. They like this Mayo, don't they?
Yeah, he's an explosive player. He leads all rookies with 112 tackles, and he's done a nice job filling in, and a lot is expected of young players in this system.
Coachable. They said last night he's very coachable.
And that's the thing. In order to play in New England, you have to be coachable. And it certainly hasn't helped having guys like Teddy Bruschi around him and Mike Vrabel. They're like coaches on the field, and that's how these young players learn to be professionals.
O'Neal, the nickel is in. Deltha O'Neal for the Patriots. Third down and 7. Grab. 42-yard line with O'Neal defending. Curry makes the grab. It is a first down to the 42 and a pickup of 9 through the air.
I think he's hurt. You look at Ronald Curry, he is not right. You see him jogging off the field, but good job right here sitting in. One of the things when you watch Jamarcus Russell, he has a tendency to lock in sometimes on the receivers. It makes a good throw right there, and you watch Ronald Curry, he's kind of hobble a little bit on that left ankle.
Seymour in on that defensive line. Tight end, bottom of your screen, first and 10. Targets in the backfield. Green with the block. Good throw. Dropped by Johnny Lee Higgins. Across the middle, Lewis Sanders cover. 3 drops by the Raiders today.
Well, the one thing Jamarcus Russell can do is he can sling it. Wow.
Look at Tom Cable. He was the offensive line coach. He said his goal in life when he got into coaching was to become the head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, and maybe in some unfortunate circumstances in how he got the job, but he really stepped into a very difficult situation here in Oakland. And they haven't had a lot of success. They haven't been winning. He replaced Lane Kiffin, and he's done the best job he can trying to keep things together here in Oakland.
Hobbs is out. Deltha O'Neal is playing the corner on this first and 10. Here's a handoff, and it goes with a flag throw, and it goes off to Fargas. Run out of bounds across the way by Wilhelm. It's a pickup of 11 as it stands right now.
Number 66, offense. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
That's on Cooper Carlisle on the offensive line for Tom Cable. He and Singletary and Haslett, all interim coaches, all guys who took over, and other guys were let go.
And it's tough because you're trying to pick up the pieces of someone else's situation, and all those situations have been difficult, and you just wonder what the Raiders are going to do at this point, whether or not Mr. Davis, Al Davis, will make another decision. And Kevin, the lack of consistency, they've lost 70 of their last 92 games under 5 different head coaches. That has to stop.
Second and 17, a spot foul. Neal continues to take the place of Hobbs at that corner. Outside, Russell throws to his tight end Miller. Out of bounds by Deltha O'Neal and Merriweather. The catch and run to the 48, picks up 13. That's shy of a first down by 4 yards.
And you see since Super Bowl 37 that this organization, as you said, the wins and the losses, it's not been good. And you look there, 4 different head coaches, playoff appearances, and
13 yards on that pass play.
I hate to say that losing a guy, but certainly losing a guy like John Gruden. I think when the Raiders weren't able to sign John Gruden to a long-term contract, I think that really, in my opinion, that set this organization back.
Now 5 defensive backs. They bring in Richardson as one of the 5. 3rd down and 4. Fargas has come back in the backfield. Here comes Green. Here comes Seymour. Incomplete. Looking for Curry. And the coverage on the play at the 42-yard line was by Will Hyde. He had an interception earlier in the game, the first of his NFL career, and the Raiders have got to punt the ball on 4th and 4.
And the Patriots are doing a good job. They're forcing Jamarcus Russell to move. He's not able to set his feet, and I don't care who you are. If you can't set your feet, it's very difficult to be an accurate thrower. He's completing just 50% of his passes.
Well, they had a catch and run of 17 by McFadden, a 9-yard reception by Curry, and a 13-yard catch and run by Miller, all for 9. Leckler to punt. Falk is back, lands at the 22, hang time of 2.9. Stewart, reserve tight end, downs at 30-yard punt. He had a 26-yarder earlier in the game. 6 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Castle with 4 touchdown passes today. His father passed away earlier this week. He spent time with his family. Came back to practice on Thursday. Immediately after this game, he'll head back to suburban Los Angeles. The funeral for his late 57-year-old father will be Tuesday in a small town north of Los Angeles. 1st down and 10 from the 22. Falk in the backfield. Aiken is the 4th receiver. Aiken, the ex-Buffalo Bill, gets the call. Lead blocks down there from Copen and by Mankins. Catch and run taken for 17. Brought down by Jabril Wilson. That's the end of the 3rd. And part of the CBS family. We begin at the 38. 4th quarter's first play. 1st and 10. Lamont Jordan blocked by Mankins. He crawls his way close to a 1st down. 48-yard line, picks up 7 yards. He played 3 years, did Lamont Jordan, for the Oakland Raiders.
Now you see the AFC East here. It's a battle to the end, and the Jets won today, and Miami won as well. Miami wins the win over San Francisco. The Jets, Kevin, lucky to win that, pull that one out at the end. They get a score from their defense. I really feel like the Jets may be wearing down at the wrong time of the year, but Miami really controls their destiny. They win the next 2. They will represent the AFC East.
2nd down and 1. It's Jordan once again. They were going into a nickel secondary, and he was brought down on the play by Tommy Kelly. Gain of 3 to the 50. It has been like this all day, and there's been wind, and it has been cold.
And we talked about the wet ball drill earlier in the game, Kevin. Both quarterbacks have done a nice job hanging on to the football. Not a lot of balls on the ground. They've done a good job. And the receivers as well, making sure they catch the ball, seat the ball, and hold that ball high and tight.
Kelly and Sands are the defensive tackle. Burgess and Kalinda Edwards are the defensive ends. 1st and 10. Falk is in. High pass to Welker. Reels it in. Then he was reeled in himself by Chris Johnson. It's a loss of 5, and he's back to the 46-yard line.
That play just took too long to develop. They faked a quick screen to the left and then came all the way back across the field. The Raiders were not fooled by that. They did a good drive driving on Wes Welker.
Now Warren comes in on that defensive line. As you take a look at Bill Belichick, their Stanford route. He's been the 5th defensive back today. 2nd down and 14.
Don't hold it.
Warren just about had him looking for Welker. Incomplete. Asamoah was in the vicinity with the cover. So it brings up 3rd down.
And the thing I like about Josh McDaniels and this offense is despite the score up 42-20, they only play one way. They're aggressive. Again, as we said, they're going to spread you out and they're going to keep attacking.
Foot on the throttle all the time.
And that's how you win in this league. You can't play scared, and that's one thing New England has never done under Bill Belichick.
Patriots on 3rd down today are 7 of 10. Again, LaVore continues to take the place of the injured Matt Light at that left tackle position. 3rd down and 14. Still the nickel. Falk. Good block up ahead by Casher. Tackle was made by Jabril Wilson. He's down to the 46. Pickup of 9. Not enough. They got to punt the ball.
The ball carrier, tackle shipper.
Punting's not the end of the world sometimes. When you're up 42-20.
Third straight punt.
Struggling a little bit here. Struggling a little bit in the second half.
Like I was mentioning before, I think it's in this league when you build up that big lead, it's just hard to keep, especially on a day like this. It's hard to keep that motivation. Right? I mean, we've been through this many times.
You just want to finish the game and get out of here. If you're New England, get back on that plane. They haven't been home in a couple of weeks. They're anxious to get back east, I'm sure.
Hansen in his second year with the Patriots with the boot. That has a weird look to it. Out of bounds about the 21-yard line. 25-yard punt. We're in the fourth and 12, 17 to play. Here comes Jamarcus.
Introducing an ale that's...
A lot of rain, a lot of wind. Patriots on top by 4 touchdown passes in Castle, 2 to Moss. Hobbs had a 95-yard kickoff return. For the New England punt, their third consecutive 1st and 10 from the 21. Shillings was in motion, and Fargas will bang his way into the grasp of Merriweather. He's out to the 26 and a gain of 5. Well, speaking of bad weather, AFC divisional playoff game back in 2002, Brady against Gannon. 13-10, trailing late fourth quarter. What happened? What appeared to be a fumble was really an incomplete pass. Patriots ended up sending the game to overtime. Vinatieri kicks the game-winning 23-yarder. Patriots won 16-13. Here's a second down and 5. Fargas and hit by Vrabel at about the 27 after a pickup of 3.
Boy, I still hate looking at that clip. And you think about that game. It really propelled this organization, the Patriots, on to winning 3 Super Bowls, and it really sent the Oakland Raiders in a different direction. John Gruden, that was his last game that he ever coached, and it really was a tale of 2 teams. And that game really had a significant impact on both of these organizations.
4 in the secondary, 3rd down and 2. 2 tight ends. Fargas remains in the backfield. Offers a block. It's out to Long. Keeps the ball after the hit by Wilhite. Tries to plunge ahead for a first down. The tackle was made by Junior Seau. Picks up a couple yards. He'll be close to a first down. We'll have to see where they mark it. Look at Junior, the longtime player, 19 years in the NFL. He was on the beaches of San Diego a week ago. He was in Seattle when they called. And here he is, 12-time Pro Bowler, out there playing in place of Gary Guyton, who was injured, playing back in the middle again. So they get the first down. Johnny Lee Higgins to the bottom of your screen. Tight end in motion. Fake to Fargas and a 1st and 10. Zach Miller, and he's hit by Vrabel. He's up to the 37, picks up 5.
And just to set the record straight, I don't know if Tom Brady ever came clean, but here's what happened on that play.
Good, we've been waiting all game to hear this.
We blitzed him. It was a blitz zone, so we were blitzing from his right, and we were dropping to the left. And what happened was Tom recognized it late. He spun to his left to try and throw it hot, realized it was a blitz zone. His guy was covered, was trying to pull the ball back in when Charles Woodson knocked it out. And the ball came on the ground. Greg Beekert recovered. We thought we won, and as it turned out, we did.
2 tight ends, 2nd and 5. Fargas blocked by Stewart. And a block by Gallery, and the tackle was made across the way. Looked like by Mayo after a gain of 2 and up to the 40-yard line. Have you ever talked to Tom about that just in your...
I did. You know, he saw it at the Pro Bowl. It's funny. He kind of laughed about it. Hey, listen, we had opportunities in that game offensively to finish it. We didn't get it done. You got to tip your hat to Tom Brady and that football team, the way they hung in there and battled. He got back out there in that game and in that last drive in overtime, and he was flawless. He did a great job moving him down the field, and as the record would show, he's been a dominant player in this league.
Bush in the backfield, 3rd and 3. 4 remain in the secondary. That throw is low. Was it scooped in by Stewart, the tight end? He says no. Hobbs made the touch.
We're going to give it to him.
Yep, they are. And the whistles were a little bit late, but they did get him the catch. And the ball will be spotted at the 43, 17-yard pickup.
And you're going to see right here, Jamarcus Russell really loves to work the middle of the field, particularly these tight ends.
Stewart grabs onto his 9th of the year, 1st and 10. McFadden. And he stopped after a gain of maybe a half-yard. Mayo was there with the hit. And they stay at the 43. Is there a Raider player down, or is he just slow to get up? Old Cornell Green. You know what's great about playing on these real fields is these uniforms get muddy, and you can see the scars of a game.
And the equipment guys absolutely love it. It takes them days to clean up all the equipment, and the pads and the jerseys and the cleats. But these are fun games to play in if you happen to be on the winning side. The weather is certainly a factor. It's fun to slide around and make plays. And as a quarterback, though, it's not easy. Sometimes you get those slick balls, very difficult to make accurate throws.
Second down, 10.
Back pass.
And here comes Bush, and he's looking for the quarterback, Jamarcus Russell, who drops the ball. He had it, and Vrabel was over there covering. And Russell, who was a little bit overweight, about 15 pounds, it almost looks like he had Vrabel right on his tail, incomplete. The pass was there. He should come back for it.
Well, he's very athletic. We talked about this. He has great size, and he can run. And he's not even 100% healthy with that ankle, but a better throw. And Jamarcus Russell would have beat Mike Vrabel right down the sidelines. Mike Vrabel is a very intelligent player. He recognized it late, did a good job rallying back to the throw.
Bush, by the way, was a high school quarterback in Louisville. That was his second pass attempt this season. Ninth play, third down and 10. 43-yard line. Fargas in the backfield. It's blocked by Henderson. That's right through the hands of the tight end Miller, who was covered on the play by Wilhunt. 4th and 10. My guess is they're going to go for it. If you take a look at some of the players around the NFL today, Rivers in a 1-point win in Kansas City. Peyton Manning might be the MVP of the season in the league.
Tell you what, people wrote Peyton Manning off early, coming back from that those surgeries on that knee, but he has been really steady, as you would expect, and you see some of these receiving leaders. And you need consistency, Kevin. And we always talk about this every week. The teams that'll be playing in January have consistency in production at the quarterback position. You need that to survive in this league.
4th and 10. Vrabel calls a timeout. They had a nickel secondary out there. Delph O'Neal was out there for the Pats. 7:44 play in the game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot, the official home improvement sponsor of the NFL. E-Trade. And by The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor on DVD and Blu-ray High Def Tuesday.
Hardy fans on a day which has seen it rain with blowing wind all day long. All right, 4th down and 10. They need the 33. They got a running back, a receiver, and a tight end to the top of your screen. Bush is in the backfield. Nichols secondary for the New England Patriots. Russell has thrown 2 touchdown passes today. The rush comes on from Seymour, and he throws it away, and on downs it will go back to the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel is also in there. We talked to Mike last night, and I think if anybody appreciates the terrific coaching and the discipline and the structure you always talk about, it's a guy like Vrabel.
Yeah, you know, he's like a coach on the field, and he's great for the young linebackers, guys like Mayo and Guyton, and he's been a consistent performer and a leader for this football team, and been a part of all 3 of those Super Bowl wins. And it's a guy that does it the right way, Kevin. When you think of a guy like Mike Vrabel, you think of a real professional in this league.
Castle remains in the game. You surprised by that with this kind of lead and the conditions the way they are?
Well,
come on.
I tell you what, he's still young. All these experiences are new experiences for Matt Castle. You want him to play, and as we said earlier, Kevin, 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh, they really struggled handling the football and dealing with these conditions. I think they want to leave him out there and see and make sure that they can finish this game off the right way.
Morris picked up 4. He took it to the 47. Castle 4 touchdown passes today, 2 to Moss. Hobbs a 95-yard kickoff return. Morris had a 29-yard touchdown run. Patriots scored every possession to begin the game, the first 4. Castle is on the money. 2nd down and 6. Morris again. Kazure a block. And a block by Sam Aiken, who was one of the receivers, and the tackle was made by Trevor Scott, who is a rookie. He has a sack today. Gain to the 49, picks up 4. Morris today 117 yards, his 5th career 100-yard rushing game, his 2nd this season. Remember last year he only played 6 games because he had a chest injury.
They've done a nice job with their play selection. 35 runs, 32 passes, Kevin, for 440 yards against this Raiders defense.
A couple tight ends. Thomas is in there, 3rd down and 2. Lamont Jordan. Thomas with a good block, and there goes Jordan. Oh, he's going to come up and strike revenge on his former team, the Raiders. A 49-yard touchdown run. And David Thomas, who has seen very few snaps today at tight end, had a great block, and he'll go and enjoy it with them.
We talk about players that played here, Lamont Jordan and Randy Moss, both having big days. And look at the fits, and then look at the effort there by Rashad Baker. Poor run fits, and then not finishing. And that's been a problem for this defense.
That's the longest run from scrimmage by the New England Patriots this season as Jordan goes in and cashes in on the first touchdown run for him this year. Gostowski will try the extra point. Patriots are racking up incredible numbers today. 49-20 is the score. Lamont Jordan played for the Raiders for 3 years, injured a great deal of that time, goes in from 49 yards out.
We're out here racing.
Russell has thrown a couple touchdown passes today. Matt Castle has thrown 4. Lamont Jordan just rambled in from 49 yards to get the 49th point. From the 30, the kickoff will be coming from Gostowski. He's at a workout today. Chip shot caught by Bush, the running back. And rumbles ahead to the 43-yard line. 14-yard return. So Jamarcus gets another shot. 6:02 to play in the 4th. And a timeout here in Oakland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers, the #1 jewelry store in America. Every kiss begins with Kay. And by the all-new Dodge Ram.
Kevin Harlan with Rich Gannon, who has left the booth and is down there dancing. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Patriots and Raiders. 60 Minutes will come back in its entirety once this game is finished. And there is the throw. It's Miller. Makes the grab, 42-yard line. He was hit on the play by Red. The ball was down, they say. Red now taking the place of Vrabel at the outside linebacker. 14-yard pickup. And there's a player down. That's Zach Miller, the tight end.
Oh boy, we've had a couple shoulders or elbow injuries today. You see him grabbing that.
Well, this environment is ripe for that to happen, huh? Slick field.
Yep. Diving for loose balls. Your arm gets above your shoulder there, and you get in a compromising position. And they can't afford to lose a player like Zach Miller. He's been one of the more productive players. I mean, it's a steady option and the most productive player in the passing game this year for the Raiders and for Jamarcus Russell, a guy that he really counts on and looks to in the passing game.
Zach Miller was a 2nd-round pick out of Arizona State, led all rookie tight ends a season ago in receptions, and comes into today #1 in tight end yards per reception in the NFL. He had a touchdown catch earlier in the season against San Diego for 63 yards.
He likes to work the middle of the field and just watch at the end here.
Couldn't tell. He was hit by Mayo and Red. Coughed up the ball. Now slowly gets up.
This kid's a tough. He's a tough. I tell you what, Zach Miller's a tough player, and you know I think that you talk about Jamarcus Russell. Not a lot of confidence that they can win on the outside with the wide receivers, and that's why he'd much rather work the middle of the field to the tight end, Zach Miller, and those running backs. That's
starting secondary is in for the New England Patriots. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. 1st down and 10. Stewart takes the place of Miller with McFadden in the backfield. Lead block there by Bush. Brought down by Mayo. He continues to hustle. Also Lakeven Smith. Gain of 3 to the 40-yard line.
Well, regardless of what the Raiders do in terms of their coaching staff and their decisions there, that players like Jamarcus Russell, Darren McFadden, Justin Fargas, I mean, there are players in place here they have enough talent, is what I'm saying, at a lot of key positions. Certainly they have to add and address some needs. Certainly the wide receiver position, the tackle position offensively, but players like Farragus and McFadden and Russell, I think, have a bright future here in Oakland.
Bush becomes a receiver, 2nd down and 7. This is McFadden, who runs into a tackle at about the 36. It's a gain of 4 on the play. And he was hit by Green and walloped by Mayo. Was McFadden. He had a turf toe in the 2nd weekend of the season to Darren McFadden in Kansas City, in a game where the Raiders racked up 300 rushing yards against the Chiefs, and that turf toe has kind of bothered him all season long.
I don't know that he's been 100% healthy all year, and they've kind of used him sporadically, but they struggle to score when he has been sidelined.
3rd down and 3. That is caught by Stewart, hit by Mayo, and he's down to the 31, has the 1st down. Picks up 5. 60 minutes coming up next. You're watching the Patriots and the Raiders. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. The tight end, Miller, leaving the field, heading to the locker room for the Raiders. On that defensive line, they've got Jarvis Green and Mike Wright and Lakeven Smith. Outside linebackers, Red and Colvin. 1st and 10. Good block by Bush. Time for Russell. Looking for Higgins. Coverage out there by Wilhite and Lewis Sanders. 2nd down and 10.
Just doesn't seem, when you see Jamarcus Russell throwing the ball down to the receivers downfield, just doesn't seem like there's any timing or rhythm. Even conceptually, when you look at what they're doing offensively in the passing game, it just doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense right now. I know they struggle with protection. They're very protection conscious, and I think that at times it makes it very difficult for a player like Jamarcus Russell to have any real success in the passing game.
McFadden in the backfield, 4 in the defensive secondary, 2nd down and 10. McFadden ran into his own blocker, Tony Stewart. He was brought down on the play after a gain of 6 at about the 25. Mayo with the hit. Leading tackler is Gerard Mayo. He's the leading tackler among rookies too. He was the NFL Defensive Rookie of the month of October. 3rd down and 4. Schillens will be a receiver to the bottom of your screen. Higgins on top, 3rd and 4. McFadden in the backfield and Bush a lead block. And then he was swarmed under. Red jumps on him initially, and then it was Jarvis Green who brought him down at the 26 with no gain.
And Kevin, I can't remember the last time I've been out here in Oakland and seen a crowd like this. I know the weather has certainly been a factor, but there's just no life. There's no energy left in this building right now. And they can't be happy with what they've seen today and what they've seen this year from this football team.
Rich, they're going to become the first team in NFL history to lose at least 11 games for 6 consecutive seasons. I mean, that is really something you got to think about for a long time. And look at where they were with you and Gruden and that crew, and where they are right now with not a lot of brightness ahead in this long tunnel.
Well, there's a guy right there that they're counting on, and you know, as you said, Kevin, they've lost 70 of their last 92 games under 5 different head coaches, and somebody has to be accountable for that. Somebody is making the decisions as it relates to personnel, and you just hope that whoever that person is can get it straightened out.
Base defense, 34 for the New England Patriots, 4th and 5. Blocked by Bush. Russell throws to Schillens, and he has the 1st down. He was hit by Wilhite. He makes a gain of 5 by the length of a football. He got the 1st down. Wilhite had an interception earlier in the game.
Wilhite is getting obviously more playing time, because I think Delta O'Neal has struggled a little bit in that back end, and we went ahead with Jonathan Wilhite, and we'll see more, you said, nickel situations. And
to challenge that. Just what the crowd of 3,000 remaining in the building would like to see. But you know, here's the thing about a game like this, and games that seem meaningless down the road. They're not meaningless to these coaches.
New England is challenging the previous play of a first down versus the spot at the sideline, making it fourth down.
Well, these aren't meaningless to these players because when it goes on tape, it is seen in perpetuity. I mean,
there's people out here playing for jobs. And I'm not just talking about players. I'm talking about coaches as well. And see right there where that.
I don't think he got it. Schillens is a rookie they like. He's out of San Diego State. He was a 7th-round selection. He was out of bounds on a hit by Wilhite.
Yeah, it's not necessarily where his foot steps out. He had that ball extended. Whether or not the ball crossed the first down marker or not. I think by looking at those two pictures, New England will lose this challenge.
Last night we had the chance to talk with Bill Belichick, who is always great company, and we talked about a variety of things. It was about a 45-minute conversation. We touched on his book collection of football books that he and his late father began and now continue. We talked about, you know, his philosophy in hiring coordinators and hiring guys for his coaching staff.
I thought that was fascinating. You know, and they really believe that they train and promote from within. I mean, continuity with their personnel department in terms of their offense and defensive systems and with their players. I mean, they're not going to bring in a guy, for example, like a Mike Martz to come in and run this offense and bring his players and his system here. They're going to promote players from within. You see Josh McDaniels was a guy that was on the staff with Charlie Weiss. And the other thing that was interesting when you talk with Bill Belichick, I mean, we talked about how you become a head coach and what your responsibilities are. And he said, you know, when he went back in his career, I mean, he spent 2 years on offense and he coached the special teams. He was a defensive coach, a coordinator. And so that's really, you talk about a well-rounded guy that understands what it takes, what it entails to be a head coach. He's done it on all 3 phases of the game.
And it's interesting you bring that up because what he said he thought the most beneficial was being a special teams coach.
Yeah, he brought up John Harbaugh in Baltimore, and he said that he thought he'd be a good head coach. The simple fact that he coached special teams. When you coach special teams, you deal with every player on the football field. You deal with the offensive guys, the defensive guys, you deal with the kickers. You're able to manage that whole gamut of responsibilities, and I think that it makes sense. And you look around the National Football League, Kevin, every year a guy gets hired and you got to scratch your head and you have to say, is he qualified? Does he have the experience that it takes? And the Patriots have had a lot of success from promoting from within.
After reviewing the play, we're going to place the ball at the 20 and 3/4 yard line and measure whether it's a first down.
Now that's some good officiating. That is some good. That was John Perry who looked under that. He's in his 2nd year as a referee, worked the Super Bowl 41 as a side judge. Every veteran official on this crew last season worked in the postseason. Well, there are more birds flying above us, vultures, seagulls, than there are fans remaining in the stands. And that's saying
That's
something.
probably true.
I don't think they've got it. I think they're going to be sure.
You wonder why the Patriots challenge and the thing that.
Oh, I'm wrong. I'll take that back. I misread that.
They played. I'll tell you what. This football team, they played to the very end, and they never let up.
Well, it's attention to detail. Add a sports fan on your gift list, then shop online at CBS Sports Store. Beat the crowds. Then save big on all the officially licensed NFL gear right now. Just click on shop at cbssports.com. So New England loses a timeout because they lost the challenge, and of course above the 2-minute warning, so they got 1 timeout remaining. Higgins will be at the top of the screen. Schillens at the bottom. 1st and 10. McFadden. And runs into a tackle made by Seau on a gain of 2 down to the 18. And Mayo was there too, making the stop.
But I hated playing against Junior Seau. He was a guy that. The thing that you know about Junior Seau, he never took a play off, and he plays with a great deal of passion and energy. And he talked with Mike Vrabel last night. He said it was nice to get Junior back in the locker room. Junior's a funny guy. He keeps the spirits up, and he's always a great guy to have in that huddle.
Vocal, still very vocal.
Yeah, and he's a player like that is so important for the younger players to learn You know, Junior talked about his years in San Diego and how difficult it was and how much of a struggle it was. And he told the young players here in New England, you don't realize how good you have it. And these players realize how lucky they are to play for an organization and for a coach that puts a team out there that has a chance to win each and every time out.
He'll be 40. Will Seau in January. 2nd down and 7. Bush in the backfield. McFadden bottom of your screen. Stop that. Timeout New England. Didn't have the right personnel out there. 30-second timeout. So the Patriots are out of timeouts. And tonight on CBS, Survivor Sunday on CBS. After 60 minutes, see the vote that will make one survivor a millionaire. Followed by the live reunion. It's tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Look at that rain coming down, huh?
Well, they said it would get worse before it got better.
And the one thing Jamarcus Russell's done a nice job of this season is taking care of the football. He's thrown just 6 interceptions coming into today's game. And
2nd down and 7. Bush was in the backfield. And Russell guns that. And there's a flag. It's going to be on Hobbs, who was covering Johnny Lee Higgins at about the 12.
Well, we've had some holding penalties in the secondary today, haven't we?
Prior to the pass, illegal use of hands. Hands to the face. Number 27 defense. 5-yard penalty with an automatic 1st down.
Hobbs had that 95-yard kickoff return earlier in the game. We've had Castle throwing 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Randy Moss in this contest.
Oh, he just, wow. Just
minimal?
I don't even know. He obviously he had his hands up in there. It didn't look like he grabbed.
10th play.
Chuck.
Yep, 10th play of the drive. At the 14, Stewart, the only remaining tight end, will be out there wide with Higgins. There are 4 defensive backs still. 1st and 10. McFadden in the backfield. Higgins. Good block by Stewart. Grabbed by Lewis Sanders and wrestled out of bounds at about the 10 on a gain of 2. 2-minute warning here in Oakland. 2-minute warning, 2nd down and 8. McFadden in the backfield with Bush. There's a good block by Gallery. Here comes McFadden, stiff arming his way into Merriweather and in for 6 and an 11-yard touchdown run by Darren McFadden, number 1 pick, 4th overall out of Arkansas.
Boy, it's good to see Darren McFadden get some touches today, Kevin. He had more tackles than carries versus San Diego last week. And just watch this run. Good vision. Nice job winding it back and then watch him finish. And that's what Darren McFadden can do for you. You have to find a way to keep getting him the ball, certainly in the next 2 weeks. When he is healthy, he can be a difference maker for this offense.
And he's brave. He went leaping into the black hole. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, was here earlier today, and he ventured into the black hole. And they were very gracious. They're going to go for 2. McFadden and Bush are the running backs. Here comes Green. There goes the pass. Incomplete for Schillens, Wilhite, and Sanders. We're back there covering for the Pats. 1:53 to play in regulation.
Boy, look at the good job up front, getting movement, and then Darren McFadden. And he's a bigger back than you think, and he can run with some power. We know about his speed, but he can also run with some power, and he does a nice job using that stiff arm.
He was a 2-time Heisman Trophy, with, of course, it being awarded last night. Apropos to bring this up, a 2-time Heisman Trophy runner-up, a 2-time Doak Walker Award winner.
You see Justin Fargas and Darren McFadden there, and those 2 backs really. You look at their 3 wins, Kevin, when they've had the ability to run the football, when they've been in games early in the game in the first half and they've been able to run it, they've had success. The problem is they fall behind in games early and then they're forced to throw it, and they're just not set up right now with their personnel to do that effectively.
With the Patriots winning today, Rich, they'll keep pace in the AFC East. The Jets beat Buffalo. Miami took care of San Francisco. As we told you before, New England's going to need some help If the Jets win out, they win the division. If Miami wins out, they win the division. Miami and the Jets will play Week 17. And we're going to see probably an onside kick, I would assume, from Sebastian Janikowski, with it teed up at the 30-yard line. And out of bounds. Flag is thrown. Moss was the closest to it. Moss caught 2 touchdown passes today. And Randy, who continues to climb up the ladder, number 3 in all-time touchdown receptions. He got number 125 and 126.
Get your good hands team out there. You get guys like Randy Moss out there to field those balls.
Ball prior to it going out of bounds. 1st and 10, New England. Number 71 is reporting as an eligible receiver.
Moss, by the way, catching his first touchdowns in the last 3 games. For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Patriots and Raiders, Kevin Harlan with Rich Gannon. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety once this game is finished here from rainy Oakland, California. Moss coming back. That was one of the headlines coming into this game. He's come back to the Raiders as...
And there were some people in the Raider organization that didn't think Randy Moss could still be a productive player. And you look what he has done with the Patriots. They're 25-5 since him coming over from Oakland. And you look at his production, his touchdowns, his yards, his receptions. Randy Moss still has plenty left in his tank.
This will be the 8th consecutive season that the Patriots have won 9 or more games. They're now 9-5, 5-2 on the road. And a lot of this game, too, is about Matt Castle. 4 touchdown passes. And you can only imagine the kind of week this kid has gone through. He lost his father on Monday night. He had a long talk with Bill Belichick on Tuesday morning. Bill, of course, lost his father over the last couple years during the football season. So he offered some advice and some consolation to this young quarterback. And he went home, took care of business, came back to the training camp out here in California for the Patriots on Thursday. Was as sharp and as focused as he's been all season long. Had a terrific day, and now we'll head back to the north of Los Angeles for the funeral on Tuesday morning, and then fly cross country Tuesday afternoon and join the Patriots for practice on Wednesday.
Yeah, my game ball goes out to Matt Castle, not just for today and not just because of the way he's handled this situation, but really because of the way he's conducted himself over the course of this season. He's done it with class. He's done it with professionalism, and he's gone out there and he's really...
Look at that.
Yep.
It says it all, doesn't it?
Yep, and he's been able to keep this team in it despite the losing Tom Brady early. He's really done a phenomenal job.
And he's got the game ball right there, Rich, and that's very symbolic for a guy that all of our hearts and thoughts and prayers go to. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, good night from Oakland, California, as we take you cross country to our CBS studios in James Brown.
All right, Kevin, let's take you to the final seconds of the game in Baltimore. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
3 field goals on the day in 3 red zone trips. The Steelers clinch the division and a first-round bye, as you see the playoff picture, and they can win the #1 seed by running the table the next 2 weeks. Baltimore currently holds the 2nd wild card by a tiebreaker over Miami and New England. Find a way to win. That's what Roethlisberger said last night. And that was true today. A 92-yard winning drive to lock up their division. 60 Minutes coming up. The Survivor finale for Phil Simms, Lance Barrow, Mike Arden, all the crew. Jim Nantz saying so long from Baltimore. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.